Hey, screeners, how you doing? It's myself, the one AJ, Anthony Jordan. I'm now emphasizing on the for the one because
I was like, it's either that or he's just forgotten his name, but that's fine.
No.
And me, Nico Lurot. How you doing, everyone?
Oh, is that me?
Can you hear me? That
There we go. There we go. So we are back in the house. Apologies, guys, if anyone has been paying attention on the Twitter at Movie Mount Rushmore. Nico had informed you there was a slight technical hitch, so that's why we're just a tad behind, but we're still here. It's still a day off and a couple of minutes late.
Off and minutes late. We're doing great.
Yeah. We're all good. But it doesn't change anything. Fuzz Aldrin has said, "Why is my computer mucking about with me recently?" Hey, AJ and Nico, it's Biffa. There we are. So big up Biffa and everybody else catching us. So yeah, it's a good one. We are here. It's season 5. We're rolling. We're into another episode.
It's crazy. Yeah. Season 5, episode 8 already.
Jesus Christ. There we go.
It's a madness.
It's absolutely mad. So yeah, shout out to everybody tuning in. And guys, this is also the time where we shamelessly plug. We say get your thumbs up and get your sharing button on. Get your shares on. Because it's all good.
A bit early to do the plugging, innit?
Come again?
Is it not a bit early to do the plugging?
What? No. The more you share now, the more people are part of the journey straight away. We're going to do the other plugs now. I love Gavin, man. Where's everyone been? I've been waiting here since last night, evening. I hope it wasn't a long wait, Gavin, and I hope it was worth the wait.
Will Johnson in the house too.
First class. Good shout.
I need to address Will Johnson quickly, actually, just because I saw him text me earlier today. Will, the reason I'm not texting back or being able to call is simply being my telephone company does not like international texts and calls. I got my phone bill last month. Oh.
Anyway, yeah. That's not yeah. It's not so nice over here in the UK with international.
Oh.
It takes a slap.
I tripled my phone bill. And I wasn't even speaking to Will for that long. I was like, Tucky's here. Evening, Tucky.
So
what is up, everyone? You were saying
just for extra reference, Will. Even if you're not on the same network, sometimes that can skyrocket your phone bill. I had like a set plan once, and not even too many years ago, and just phoning a friend at the time. So maybe it's a bit old because he was on. Ready for it? Orange. Do you remember Orange?
Hey, they still exist in Poland.
Do they? Well, there we go. So Orange was before we currently have EE, but we used to have T-Mobile and Orange before they joined to make it EE. And I was on T-Mobile and I happened to record someone on Orange. Yeah, my set plan went right out the window. So, well, don't take it personally, bro. It's just the way the UK tariffs are. They're not too.
I ever need a lawyer, I'm calling AJ.
Yes. Gavin, exactly what I was going to bring up. How fitting on a Wednesday, Orange Wednesdays, guys. Even if you didn't have an Orange phone, you texted your friend who was on Orange, they would pass a code over to you, and guess what you got? Into the cinema for free.
Do you remember those Orange cinema commercials for Orange Wednesday? With like the 4 kind of idiot execs who are listening to ideas being pitched by like famous actors. And then they'd be like, no, how about we do this? So they take their script and then bastardize it.
Yeah.
Dude, the one they did with Sean Astin will forever kill me, which finishes, Master, Hobbit has left the precious food.
Yeah.
I used to love those. Andy Hart says, welcome to the wonderful world of WhatsApp. I'm assuming that's a reference to the inflated phone bill.
Yeah, even that can come back to haunt you if stuff ain't done the right way. But we digress. But yeah, Gavin Mann says Darth Vader / Lord of the Rings. Yes.
I'm not sure what that's a reference to, Gavin.
I think it could be to the Orange Wednesdays, because I think I do remember.
I don't remember the Darth Vader one. I definitely remember the Lord of the Rings one.
There we go.
Get plugging, AJ.
Yeah, I was plugging. Now guys are in, which is cool. But guys, while you're here, just share it. Even so much I was to just copy and paste it into your, as Andy said. Andy actually went for the plug into your WhatsApps. So just pass it on to people like, yeah, this is what I'm watching right now. Don't disturb me. Just join in. If you want to talk to me via the Silver Screen Dudes chat. That's where I'm at.
Share the link from Twitter. That would be greatly appreciated as well.
Literally just a couple of retweets, a couple of Facebook shares. I know we don't have a lot of Facebook followers on that aspect. The world is YouTube, which I fully agree. But not that I'm dissing Facebook or Meta as it was now, but I'm just saying in a video world, yeah, it's that way. But just wherever you can, guys, just share and retweet. It's fully appreciated.
It is. We got a good topic today, don't we?
We do. It's one of those that, I mean, put it this way. People were asking, what's the difference? Like, how could you have what's the difference between prequel and origin stories? Now, not every origin story has to be a prequel, and vice versa. Not every prequel has to be an origin story.
You're putting it straws here. I can tell already. Okay,
No, I'm just going back to the question that was there. I was trying to build it into a more fancier
prequel
statement.
Is a movie that has to come out after the original, where the story is set before.
This is true.
That literally is what a prequel is.
Yeah, exactly. You have to have your first movie and then go back in time. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Let's see how much you've stuck to that.
Well, there's one prequel which is prequel/sequel, but hey, it is what it is. C'est la vie.
Okay. We'll get there. I just know you. I know you, my friend.
There is one that I was tempted to draw for, but I didn't, if I'm honest. No, they all.
Okay. We'll see later.
What?
I don't know for sure. I haven't looked at what your list is.
Okay, no, I'm not saying you did, but even if, and I think there's one that you're going to draw for, and I have the perfect argument for it. Because it preludes any other statement, even though it doesn't connect to a universe, if that's the way you're going.
Doesn't need to be a universe. It just needs to be set before something that came out already. That's literally how we've just defined it. We've literally just defined it.
So we're taking this argument for an origin story over prequel.
I don't know what you've got on your list.
I see what you're saying.
I just have a feeling I know you, and I've got a very strong feeling of a very, very good movie being on your list. And
I get where you're going.
You've probably plugged it quite high.
It's quite likely.
Love you, mate. I almost want to say it now so people know when they come back to it. But okay, we'll save it for later, because as we get higher and higher up the list, and if I still don't see it, I'm going to be laughing more and more and more.
Well, fair enough.
A few comments have come in. Andy Hart says, did anyone see the movie Focus? Really distracting seeing the bloke from the orange ads. No, I did not. By the way, speaking of bloke from the orange,
isn't that the Will Smith movie?
Will Smith with Margot Robbie, I believe, but I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
I found out something fascinating today from my friend in Japan who I had a catch up with. You know Takeshi's Castle?
That's my signal mucking up. Repeat that.
I said I had a catch up with my friend from Japan today, Takuya. You know what Takeshi's Castle is, right? We have lost AJ. AJ is frozen. While AJ's gone, I will remove him and he can add himself back on. Goodbye, Mr. AJ. Nathan Jordan, that's AJ's brother, says, I legit just started Star Wars from episode 1. You enjoy that.
Sorry, internet connection issues. But
it's
nice
fine.
To see that my brother's just started episode 1. I told you though, Nath. I did tell you. Don't do what I done. Go from episode 4. But hey, c'est la vie.
Gavin Mann says Andy Hart, the guy from The Man in the High Castle. Yes, that's the one. And Andy Hart says time for a curveball. Mad Max Fury Road, a prequel to Thunderdome.
I'm not actually that well Mad Max first, if I'm honest with you.
I would listen to that argument, Andy. I would actually say probably yes. I would say yes.
Interesting.
I would say yes. Frank Torres is in the house. Hello, friends. Hope you're well. What is your go-to movie snack these days? Popcorn or something else? AJ, you can go. You're a hot
So
dog
I'm
man.
not actually a snack at most. Like I do enjoy a good hot dog, but I don't do it all the time. I actually got bored. Like once I became an unlimited member, that kind of slowed down. What is essential for me, however, is a Red Bull. Me, dark rooms just don't match too well. So the Red Bull is my go-to, if I'm honest. But yeah, I don't mind. Recently, when I have gone with the other half, a good box of popcorn's got to be sweet. I was sweet, then I moved into salt and sweet, but she's strictly sweet, so that's that.
Interesting. So when I go with the other half, I definitely have popcorn as well, and it's salty, always salty. If I go by myself,
Interesting.
If I go by myself, pick and mix.
Yes, that I do know. That I do know.
I love my pick and mix. Like cinema for me is like candy time. Proper candy time. Like I don't feel right if I haven't had at least half of my bag of pick and mix by the time the credits are finished rolling. I need to be on a sugar high. I get a big bag. I love me some pick and mix. Andy Hart says not a snacker, just black coffee for me. That's Starbucks is in Cineworld.
Similar. Yeah, that is true. But similar to Andy, I get it. You just need that drink to just keep you going for a good film.
So I was asking you just before your internet cut, do you remember a show called Takeshi's Castle?
Yes. So can I just say that while going into it? This is how my brother sold out Fall Guys to me on the internet on the PS. He's like, it's like Takeshi's Castle, but in video game mode.
It's true. And it literally is. It's Takeshi's Castle meets Wipeout, that game. But yeah, did you know that the guy who plays Takeshi in Takeshi's Castle was the director of Battle Royale?
I had no clue. Like, no clue.
I'm assuming Andy Hart knew because he just says that bonkers TV show with Takeshi Kitano. But yeah, the fucking director of Battle Royale, one of the most disturbing dystopian films ever, was in Takeshi's. It is Takeshi in Takeshi's Castle. I'm like, what the fuck?
That is nuts. That is nuts. I thought, for some reason, I thought he was going to say like, you just realized it was Craig Charles talking through that.
No,
but, hey, you've gone that.
He was everywhere at one moment, Craig Charles.
Good old Lister from Red Dwarf.
I always remember him as the host in Robot Wars.
Oh, Robot Wars.
In it. That was a show.
Robot Wars was awesome. Robot Wars, funny enough, is I always remember at the same time I was working in the sweet shop. And that was one of the things that you was able to like build your own robot. But you know, these stuff are like, it starts off as 99p, then it gets progressively more expensive. And if you miss 1 week, you are fucked. Yeah. And I coincidentally missed a week, and that was it. It was like, my robot is no more.
Oh, man. And yeah, Word 789 says, yes, I mean General Lee. That's apparently the director of Battle Royale, apparently. But yeah, no, Robot Wars is the show, man. There was two robots that I'll always remember. Do you remember Hypnodisc?
Yes, that was the one that could really do some damage.
Like, slice through anything. It was like, what is this? And do you remember Chaos 2, the flipping black wedge?
You're really good for remembering the names. I could do watching some good old Robot Wars.
So good.
I can't remember the names.
I might actually go and get baked after the show and watch that on YouTube. That's such a good idea. Hang on. Is Robot Wars on YouTube? Please on YouTube.
There must be.
It must be. Oh, come on. Yes! Fucking awesome. Oh, that's the best news ever. I'm so happy right now. Bro.
I'm not gonna lie.
There was that. Do you remember the like evil robots, the defender robots, like Sir Kill-A-Lot?
Sir Kill-A-Lot. That's the
Sir
name.
Kill-A-Lot. And you had like Medusa, and they had one called Sergeant Slaughter. It was like, it was so fucking B-Tech cheap man grunge TV. I loved it.
Yeah, no, they were big, man. They were big.
Fucking Robot Wars. Well, that started with flipping Craig Charles.
It was Clarkson as well, right? Clarkson was the other host.
What? Clark? No.
Who was it? It was Craig Charles and who?
It was just Craig Charles.
No, I swear there was 2 hosts.
No, I swear not. There was no other host for Robot
Sorry, got to
Wars.
play the fact check game. And we are
definitely not Jeremy Clarkson. No way. Bro, behave. There was only one host on Robot Wars. And he used to do that stupid double finger kiss and then go goodbye.
Jeremy Clarkson presented the first series with Craig Charles.
No lie. Lie. Never.
Comments, come on. I know we're not the only guys from the UK here. Like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? But YouTube it.
Right.
But yes, Jeremy Clarkson was definitely a host.
Gavin Mann says, how do you feel about watch-along movies? I see people on social media watching a film at the same time and commenting on it. For me, I'd rather watch it without interruptions. Yeah.
So can I be honest? And I'm not putting anyone under the bus. I don't know if he's watching. He may be. He may not be. A guy who I know better than Nico does, Aaron, sent a trailer over to us, The Adam Project. And it was a TikTok that was sent to him, and it was someone's reaction. And I just really wanted to see what the bloody film was about, and this guy was talking over it, and I was just like, I need to find the actual real trailer, then I could do trailer reaction. And I'm very similar to that when it comes to a film. And the thing is, I don't mind if it's a director's talk over it.
Yeah.
It's a bit less interesting if you had like the silver screen dudes do Ace Ventura. We're gonna be like, oh my god, that part's coming. Like, shut the fuck up. Let me just enjoy the moment. So, yeah, I think I would agree. They're a bit of a hindrance more than anything else.
Yeah.
There
you go. Right. Do you want to do some plugs and then we'll get into it?
Okay, guys. So I hope you've all shared. All right.
Like the video.
Yes. Yeah. All the more thumbs up, the better, guys. If you're on Facebook, a couple of hearts. Why not? Just really get that drive going out there. So, guys, now that you've done that, and we're talking all YouTube and Facebook, we aren't only YouTube and Facebook. We're also available in audio format. Yep, that's right. Some people don't want to see these faces. No, I'm joking. But if you have anyone who's after a good podcast and just wants to be like, YouTube's cool, but I just want to have a good podcast while I'm on the journey, do let them know that they can actually find us on the podcast too. And where would they find it? It's quite easy, guys. All you have to do is look for us on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, TuneIn, Stitcher, and GeoSavin, and just search for the Movie Mount Rushmore.
Nope, just Movie Mount Rushmore. There's no the. Okay. You see? He's done it again. Movie Mount Rushmore. Do you see? It's below our names here. There's no the. There's no the, my friend.
Yeah, just search for the.
Yeah, no. Just search for Movie Mount Rushmore.
Yes, no, fair play.
You did it trying to be the Movie Mount Rushmore. I love you so much.
Now, did I do it on purpose or did I not?
No, you did not. Fuck you. Don't even try it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, of course.
Keep going.
Oh, dear.
Anyway.
And because, makes me laugh and it makes us laugh and it makes you laugh, I hope we make you laugh. If you do happen to like our brand of not comedy and our brand of not
sad humor.
Yeah, literally. Very, very niche appeal. If you do happen to like us and you want to support the show, you can head over to buymeacoffee.com/movie dudes. And literally, for less than your daily Starbucks, less than your daily Starbucks, as little as £2, you can support the two British idiots right here who bring you weekly content and hopefully put a smile on your face. The link for that also in the description below, whether you're watching on video or on podcast. If you are one of the podcast listeners, you want to join us live, do remember that we are live. This week is an exception as it's a Wednesday, but do remember that we are live every single Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. right here on our YouTube channel, Silver Screen Dudes, and not the Silver Screen Dudes.
If it's on Instagram, it's the Silver Screen Dudes. Just want to get that out there. However, just before, and this is a tangent, and I'm not stirring the pot because I legitimately haven't watched any football or any football news. How was yesterday's game?
2-0 Chelsea. It was typical European night. It was a bit cautious. It was a bit safe. Quite a tough team, Lille. They surprised me, but yeah, good game. Really nice being back at the bridge and hearing that Champions League music played before the game. It's always like, oh.
Nice. Cool. Right. Okay. So we've talked about sharing and where you can find it, but if you've shared it, if you've given out this podcast, but what is, allow me to say it, the Movie Mount Rushmore all about? How would you explain it?
Well, it's a top
That's
10
obviously
show
not-
between two best friends from school, isn't it?
Of course. But you may want to elaborate. You may want to elaborate a bit more.
But how does the Movie Mount Rushmore actually work? AJ and I each get assigned a list. We go our separate ways. We come right back here into the recording and deliver to you, the Silver Screen Dudes, our individual top 10s. This week, I will go first, delivering my bottom 3. AJ will then deliver his bottom 3. I will deliver my next 2. AJ will deliver his next 2. And then we will trade one apiece. If at any time, while we are rounding off our individual top 10 lists, one person has a movie in a higher position, that person will say,
Punt.
and we will punt and talk about that movie when we get to the high position. Once we're both off our individual lists, we will create the Movie Mount Rushmore. These are the 4 quintessential diverse must-see movies of the genre, which this week is
Top 10 prequel movies.
very good. Just wishing my missus a lovely evening as she goes to sleep. And we're
Hot
good
done
to
that
go.
already.
And here we go. Right, in at number 10, get your finger ready on the punt, I believe, from Pixar, Monsters University.
So that's my number 8, so we can talk about it now.
Let us talk then. Right. So the reason it's my number 10 is not because it's a bad movie. In fact, I think it's a very, very good movie. I think they missed a trick on this film, though. While it was nice making this movie a prequel to kind of see where Mike and Sully came from, they missed on, I think, a very important emotional beat that could have been done with a sequel. Because if they'd set it a few years after, and it could have been, I can't even picture the full movie, but I can certainly picture a scene in a movie which feels very in keeping with Pixar. It's years later. Mike and Sully are both older. They're both like these rock star monster smilers now, I guess, because they're not scarers anymore, are they? But, Mike, he misses Boo and he finds a way to go back to her. And when he goes into the bedroom, he realizes she's gone. She's moved out. Now, you just know that being Pixar would have made people go, oh, the pain, because Pixar build up human emotion so well. The pain we would have felt if they'd built this story up of Sully being in, having some sort of separation anxiety or being in some sort of PTSD stage, to then go back and just realize that she's gone. She's got older. One of Pixar's favorite themes. I think they really missed a trick there.
But then I kind of get a feeling of like Toy Story meets Inside Out, and that's kind of why they probably didn't go that way. I get it into what you're saying there, but then what's the end game? Are we talking that they're on the search for Boo? They like what? As much as this.
No. The end game, I would say, is that he realizes that he's got everything he needs where he is at that point in his life, which is a very, very important message to send out. Don't be longing for something that you used to have, even if it was something really special. If it's gone, sometimes it stays gone. Acceptance.
You paint a nice picture, but
a movie about acceptance.
I've got
acceptance of one's life, acceptance of growing older and losing people. All the sort of shit that Pixar are really good at. What we got instead was basically Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, it's that. It's literally just like frat boys taking on each other to be crowned king. Essentially, it was that. It's nothing much. It did hit some tones in certain places of emotional distress, mainly on Sully's side or what have you. But it
lacked emotional punch. This film.
Yeah, I get it,
and this was kind of one of the first in Pixar's slow
decline.
Decrease. I hate to use the word decline, but decrease in.
Yeah. They went from like 150 to like 140, 130.
Yeah.
Even. Yeah. I could work with that.
That fuckhead Bob Chapek, by the way, he's for the second time
already.
Huh?
He's meddling already, right?
Oh, he's been meddling for the last year. He's a fucking idiot. He's already managed to piss off every single department. So he nearly made Kevin Feige walk because he Yeah, like he tried saying that the final decision lies with the executives, not with the creatives, which is Bob Iger was the one who said the creatives have final say. Not a good idea, considering that it's your creative who's just made you the most money in your living memory.
This is true.
So that pissed off Feige. Luca going straight to Disney Plus. That pissed off Pixar. And here's the kicker. They've now done it again. Releasing March 11th. Just need to remember the name of the story. Turning Red. Apparently, it's supposed to be fantastic. The critics have already started reviewing it. Glowing reviews. Not getting a cinema release.
Do you know, I can't remember the exact date, but I was actually shocked to see that The King's Man is
It's on Disney Plus.
Sorry,
Forget that. You need to watch The French Dispatch. That's a film.
Cool. What is that on Disney as well?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Nice.
That was one of my top 10 from last year. All right, cool. So yeah, Monsters Inc. It's fun, but it's just fun. My number 9. Wonder if you've seen it yet. Long film. The Godfather Part 2.
Coincidentally, my number 10.
Oh, you've seen it?
I actually made it a mission to watch it for this pod, and I prefer it. I prefer it to number 1.
Wow!
But my God, is it long? And here's the part. And I don't tend to do this with films, right? But I'm in the process of just doing a bit of a house not renovation, but shift around as it whatever at the moment. And I'm watching this film. And it went to intermission. And I was like, right. And I paused it. And I came back to it that evening. I was like, just slow down. Like, yeah. So The Godfather Part 2. I actually preferred it to number 1. I felt like I needed to watch number 1 again. I feel like I need to watch number 1 again because I feel like I appreciate Don Vito a bit more. It's interesting. Now, the reason it's my number 10
is because it's only half a prequel.
Yeah, it's half exactly that. It's part prequel, part sequel. And that's the thing, and it's like they could have been 2 separate movies and essentially just halved in time. Like
literally,
just do it. And I could have fully watched the whole rising of Don Vito, even though like 95% of it was in Italian when you watch it with him at 99.9 actually. And Michael's story was equally as interesting, and I feel because you had that mix, it's like 1 minute you've got this mix, and you know that Michael's going through a situation with the senator and whatnot, and then you're back. You do this whole Don Vito story. Then there's like courtroom, and you're like, okay, like I get it, but I didn't actually cotton on to this is what was happening when he was talking. Maybe I, fly by word that I just missed. I could see like the government were involved in his doings, as it were, but I didn't realize it had gone there, and it just felt weird as to how they meshed it because it didn't. If there was like a mirror image of situations after, but it was like, here's Don Vito, here's his grandson Anthony. They both went to the church. And it was like, okay, they've both been christened. Yeah. Shock horror for a Catholic Italian to be christened, like have a communion. Like it was like, where is the actual synergy of it? So some would be like, no, but you can see the rise of one and the rise of the other. I wouldn't actually.
Fall of the other.
What, Michael's fall? Michael's fall, yes, but I mean, it was the whole situation. Or you kind of see a come up followed by a bit of a drop. If you
rise to power for sure, but what about a fall from grace?
Oh, bro, I don't deny. I don't deny. But in the
do you see what I mean about the movie ending at the wrong point, though?
Because I know there's a number 3, it didn't bug me as much.
Sure.
And you did ring in my mind because I consistently said. You said 3 makes 2 a better movie, which
it does because you see the fallout of his actions.
I haven't got there yet. But yeah, The Godfather 2 hits the beats that I expect when everyone's talked about The Godfather. The hitman and the piano wire and the it's you don't listen, you're eliminated. The Fredo line. I was like, oh, I get it. Yeah,
Fredo.
Yeah, like all of it made sense. I was like, okay, this is the Godfather people are talking about. I don't feel it had that depth in the other one. Like even when Michael moves to Italy for like what felt like a lifetime in the film, that's one thing I felt. This is, and I'm sure Free's going to be equally as guilty. I feel the Godfather always has these moments that just like, here's the story, here's another story, and then bang, right back in. And that's what I feel is the situation. Like, this one was just awkward because I was following two journeys and like, I'm enjoying it. Why am I going back to this one? It could have been two movies.
Agreed. It could have been two movies. I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
And the story of Vito Andolini, how he became Corleone. I'd pay to see that.
Bro. And when he went back home, I was mucha bella.
And Gavin has said perfectly what I feel here. Felt a bit let down in some parts of The Godfather 2. Vito's story was brilliant, but when we got onto what was going on with Michael, it dragged. Not a patch on the first. I completely agree.
But saying that, it also took, and this is why I said I have to rewatch. I feel The Godfather, for all the hype and what I looked at, bored the crap out of me the first time. However, I appreciated it as a good film. Again, the length and the lack of Godfather antics, I think, was the issue.
Godfather antics. No, I needed more nefarious deeds.
I did. I'm not gonna lie. However, I do feel that a rewatch of The Godfather, I will appreciate it a lot more because I know what I'm going in for, kind of thing. But
it's a lot better on rewatch Godfather Part 1. It really is.
From your reaction, I believe it. But yeah, again, that's the best way to put it. The nefarious deeds in number 2, and you're right, Gavin. It's Vito's story that really captures.
Vito's story is capturing, but then this is why I love Godfather 3 so much, because you get to the end of the Godfather 3 and you realize that despite his hubris, despite all of his attempted machinations on the world, he ultimately ends up alone. And it's a really powerful story. That for that final shot of The Godfather Part 3 is really kind of a reflective shot where you look back and go, this is a big story they've told of Michael Corleone here. But I do not understand the hate for Part 3. I just don't get
it. I'm not going to promise it for next week because these are long ass films. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. I am actually looking forward to it.
And he says, Nico, after all the shit you've given it, I can't believe it made the list. So that's fair. I need to explain this and defend this. It's one of those movies where I can appreciate it's good, very well made, objectively, without necessarily having to have the utmost love for it myself. This is like an objective choice. It was either this or The Thing 2011. What do you want?
The Godfather Part 2. Fair play.
But yeah, that's an interesting fact. The Godfather 50th anniversary in cinemas this weekend. I got my ticket to go.
Nice.
I'd like to see it on the big screen. Gavin Mann says Godfather trilogy takes up 40% of a day. Yes, it does.
As there's another trilogy that I'm sure will probably make the list.
Yes, it does.
That could even be 70% of the day, but we won't go there.
Oh, bro, it's no 70. That's a day. That's a day and a bit if you're watching the extendeds. Woo!
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So that was my number 9. My number 8. Again, it's a film I've got a bit of a soft spot for because the more I rewatch it, the more I kind of appreciate it. The prequel to Alien, Prometheus.
So it's actually on my list. I feel like I want to do Alien. I've done Alien and Aliens. I haven't done the rest, so I kind of like need to. Yeah.
Another weird one. Everyone hates on Alien 3. I'm a weird defender of it.
Fair play. I was kind of advised like that beware of what happens after Aliens. So I haven't like been that way.
Yeah.
So while we're at that, there is another Alien prequel, and this is a better one you would go for.
Covenant. Alien Covenant.
Yeah. I think that. Yeah,
which is the sequel to this prequel.
Oh right, okay, fair play. I couldn't remember which one came first.
This is a prequel trilogy, essentially. It's going to be Prometheus, Covenant, and the next one, whatever it is. But yeah, it takes the Alien franchise in a very, very strange direction. Certainly builds on the lore. It explains arguably explains unnecessarily. You know, there were these kind of unspoken but cool, iconic imageries in the original Aliens. And it was kind of like they wanted to go ahead and explain what those were. Like there was that crashed ship in Alien inside of the xenomorph. There was a crashed ship on LV-277 or whatever the fuck the planet's called. And they never explained what it was. You just kind of understood crash ship. In this one, it's like, what was that crash ship? We're going to explain it to you now. So they do go into potentially what was unnecessary explainer territory. It's kind of like unnecessary exposition is unnecessary. But
then you know what I think is sometimes the problem with some of these stuff, right? Is when you go to prequel and you have to make a film as opposed to just giving me a half an hour series, you need to put meat on the bones. So it's going to be like, remember that shit? Well, here comes an explanation. Like,
and it's kind of what they did. You know, there were these beings called, I think they're just referred to as the creators now. It's got some cool performances in it. Fassbender playing an evil android in that alien world. I loved that. Elba, I actually quite liked in this role, although he was very, very much backup dancer as always. You know, he's in his role, he's in his lane, he's in his right place. Idris Elba is a backup dancer.
It is. I don't care.
He's a backup dancer. I'm sorry.
He's a TV star. He's a TV star.
Yeah,
it's like certain people. I'm not going to shit on anyone's music taste. I also feel it like Lil Wayne. He's a feature artist. A full Lil Wayne song, I don't enjoy most of them. Have him feature on a song, he kicks ass. It's the same with Idris. Don't make him the star. Just have him there, and you're all good.
Very good point about Lil Wayne. That's very true.
Yeah,
very true. Lil Wayne and Kanye West track, the remix to Lollipop, that was a banger.
Yeah, there we go. This is what he does.
Banger.
This is what he does.
It's conflicting, Prometheus, because while I was interested to see them build this world, I wasn't crazy about the way they went about it, but then there were parts of the way they went about it where it's like, okay, that's actually pretty fucking stunning and beautiful. But then there were parts that didn't make sense. It felt a bit like Ridley Scott is getting old. That's what it felt like. It's like, I'm listening to a little bit the ramblings of an old geriatric here. But there's some good to be found in Prometheus.
Cool.
Andy Hart, to answer your question, Prometheus question, why didn't she run sideways? I actually don't remember the movie well enough to even be able to know what the reference is. To be honest, like I'm going off of memory here, and it's not the greatest memory. AJ, what are your bottom three, mate?
Right. So let's see. In at number 10 was The Godfather. Part 2.
Yes.
In at number 9, I'm actually kind of shocked it made the list, but it is fun. It is stupid fun. Fast 5.
Oh, that's a punt.
Okay, fair play. And then in at number 8 was Monsters University. So back over to you, sir.
Back over to me. Okie dokie. Thanks, AJ. That was great.
I just love your voice, bro. I rejigged it.
Thought I'd get a break there, have a breather. No.
Have a sip.
Get your finger on the punt, though. For sure, you're going to punt me here. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yep, that's a punt.
Now I'm going to bring in one of our favorite guys, Edward Norton, in the prequel to The Silence of the Lambs, Red Dragon.
Bro, I'm not going to lie. I had the ultimate memory loss on this. I remember seeing this once on Sky Movies. And I'm like, I can't remember it enough. I remember having an awesome time with it. Hadn't had a chance to rewatch. So I had to leave it off. But I remember it was a good movie. Norton is,
Parts of the movie are very good.
I remember Norton and Julianne Moore gave like really good performance.
Julianne Moore's not in it.
Is she not this one?
Julianne
Is there another prequel before that one?
No, but Julianne Moore's in the sequel to Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal.
Was it Hannibal I saw then? No, because I saw Norton. That's weird.
Well,
anyway,
you saw Red Dragon.
We digress.
Yeah, it's got Norton, obviously Anthony Hopkins, Ralph Fiennes playing the Tooth Fairy serial killer. You've got Harvey Keitel is in this. The late great Philip Seymour Hoffman is in this, and he's just great as always, man. He's such a fucking fine actor, Seymour Hoffman. Listen, do you know what surprised me is that and thank you, Frank Torres. Emily Mortimer is in Red Dragon. Thank you for that. Fucking Brett Ratner directed this.
Yeah.
This is the guy who did X-Men 3.
Did he not do one of the early X-Men as well, though? He done X2 as well. Like, let's not shit. I'm sure he was behind X2.
What? Was he actually?
Or was that Stinger? Oh.
No, it would be.
Hold on, Brett Ratner.
You know?
Huh?
Brett Ratner's the guy behind X3.
Rush Hour. Sure. Yeah, he's Rush Hour, man. Love him. Yeah, he's not that bad.
Big man. Don't take the piss. Rush Hours are like fun, yeah, but
it's crazy
like,
fun. But I mean, I'm just saying he could.
You're not going to tell me that in the conversation of serious movie you're pulling for Rush Hour, yeah?
No, I'm not saying Rush, but I'm just saying he's been able to put a film I enjoy in. So I'm not saying essentially I would have put him more as a comedic director, but if you've got the vision, you've got the vision. It's kind of
Well, he had the vision for making Magneto a metallic villain who hides in a forest. Just saying.
Do you know what? He made the mistake. Those who done Dark Phoenix reinforced that mistake.
He was in the forest again! I said, what are we doing? Did we not fucking learn?
Did we not learn from the first time that trilogy went insanely wrong?
What the fuck? No, I was so vexed when I saw that. Like in Dark Phoenix, I was like, are you fucking kidding? Magneto's hiding in the woods again. What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Why is he in the woods? Oh, man. Like, see, what was cool? Do you remember that scene at the beginning of X-Men Apocalypse when they kill Fassbender's daughter?
Yeah.
They're in the woods. And he was literally powerless.
The
necklace is what helped him out. That showed that he's pretty fucking useless in the woods. Why are we hiding him in the woods? Why do we do this?
If he didn't have a necklace, he couldn't have done much. However, what he did do with the necklace was absolutely awesome. We won't get into that. But yeah.
Stupid. It's honestly one of my biggest movie pet peeves ever, that. Magneto, forest. What? Like, what the fuck?
Weird.
Back to Red Dragon. How did we talk about Fassbender? How the fuck did we get into that?
Because we were talking about Ratner being the guy who put Magneto in the woods.
Yeah, Ratner, right. So, but much like a Ratner movie, the reason I say parts of this movie are good is because Act 1 and Act 2 are genuinely really, really good in this film. Like, I kind of get a Silence of the Lambs meets 7 vibe, you know? Really, really cool. Act 3 just fucking falls apart. It completely falls apart. The hero's dead. No, he's not. I'm sorry, no, not the hero. The serial killer's dead. No, he's not. Now he's in your house. How are we gonna kill him? Wife's gonna kill him. Then what do? We run away. Then what do? We set up Silence of the Lambs. What's her name? It's like, really?
Fair play. I remember watching it. I was so hazy. Even hearing you say it now, I'm like, yeah, a bit hazy on it. So
no, Act 1 and 2 are legitimately great.
I can't comment, but again, one of those things that I try to avoid having a bad word for is Ed Norton performances. I think the guy's absolutely awesome. Pain in the ass to work with. But
well, we said this last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
He never puts in a bad performance, that guy. Riri Thomas is here. Hey, Riri. Just tuned in. Hope you're having a great time. Watched the Elvis trailer a while ago and was really disappointed. Nothing special. I actually still need to watch that trailer.
So, yeah, I'm aware it's out there. I've not watched it. The cast looks like it could be something special, but yeah, if it's not written or directed well, you're in trouble. But yeah, I do want to give that a shot. Biopic, Elvis being Elvis is something worth checking in for.
All right, my friend, over to you then.
So, okay, so we're now at my number 7.
See,
I'm guessing this is a film you probably still haven't seen, which is fine, but it's just one of those. Oz the Great and Powerful.
I told you, my friend.
We have these films that we Yeah, we keep saying, and they keep coming up, and we know the other one just hasn't watched it yet. And then we get the person, oh, you've watched it. Oh, no, hey, please.
$1 Million Baby.
There we go. Let's continue. We'll put it this way: just a minute ago, Godfather 2 could have been on the list, but I've caught up. So yeah, Oz the Great and Powerful with the cancelled actor, Mr. Franco, at the helm.
But I was going to say which one. There's a few of them now.
There's a few, but yeah.
Are we talking about the one who sucks his finger, the one who sucks human ribs, or the one who sucks little boys?
Oh, bro. Yeah, no, Franco. Yeah. So
the finger sucker.
Yeah. Did you have to? I'm trying to keep it there. We went there.
What was he thinking? I saw those images. I laughed my arse off and went, "You're fucked on so many levels. One, she's a minor. Two, if you ever recover from that, the image I've got from you now forever is
Thank you for putting it.
Your PR team has just looked at this and gone, "Oh, this fucking guy." Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking no.
Yeah. But yeah, he plays a small-time, I don't want to say illusionist, but like street magician who ends up in Oz, and along the way, it's on this whole quest of proving magic. Why am I blanking on it? But yeah, he also has this budding friendship with the Wicked Witch of the West, who at first isn't evil, but it's through jealousy that it starts to develop. But yeah, this was a film that I always remember my sister saying to me, "It's absolutely shit. I hate it. Oh my God, why did they make it?" And I ended up watching it. I was like, it's actually not that bad.
To be fair, your sister said Endgame was shit, so.
Yeah, she also, I mean, you'll partially more agree, but she also did have not much time for No Way Home. So yeah, she waves the flag for Shang-Chi. So
nah.
Yeah. I can't defend everything she does, but yeah, we this is how we discover how Oz builds the legacy to become the Wizard of Oz, and how the Wicked Witch of the West becomes this evil force along the way. Yeah, saying that, I still need to see Wicked the play. That's the other part of. No, legit, it's been something for Theatreland over here that I've really wanted to see. That and Hamilton are like on my list in Victoria.
Hamilton, I want to see. Can I tell you what you really should see is the Book of Mormon,
bro. It's on my. Do you know what?
It's so good.
So theatre is actually a thing that I've not done a lot of. I'll be honest. If it's not a school trip, I've not actually been. That's the truth.
So you've seen Les Mis, basically.
Les Mis and Cats, like umpteen times. I actually didn't mind Cats to play, but like, there is also the play that goes wrong, or something like that. And have you seen it?
No, Andy Hart's just put a big. Andy Hart's just put a funny on it. Yeah. I don't know who the finger sucker is. I don't think Google will give the answers.
You don't want to, but it's James Franco.
James Franco.
We'll leave it there. I don't know if you want that in your search history. You know, there was some stuff that you're aware of, and you're like, no, I'm not going to type that in.
Speaking of no, I'm not going to type that in. I wish Big Tone hadn't just typed this. Big Tone dropping in to give Nico and AJ unlimited power. Prequel.
Oh, hold up. I'm sure it will make the list. You know, we are Star Wars.
It's coming. It'll be there. We're going to talk about unlimited power.
Indeed we shall. But yeah, be careful what you search for. But yeah, there's the play that goes wrong, and there's the Penn and Teller magic show that goes wrong. Those are two other bits I would like to see. Just talking a bit of Theatreland while we're there. But yes, that
you're not going to go and see The Lion King and Aladdin, are you?
They've actually got rid of Aladdin. Sadly. Yeah. I heard The Lion King's like amazing though.
No.
Did you not believe it? Like, have you seen it and don't believe it was?
I'm not going.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to see men on stage pretending to be lions. I'm sorry.
Anyway, I'm not getting into it. I don't think they're dressed up. I think they've got like these statues, but yeah.
No, they're dressed up.
Okay, fair play. But people sing this thing's praises. Like,
of course they do, because they love the songs. It's not hard to manipulate the mass, is it?
Fair play.
Stick Hakuna Matata in there. Watch these motherfuckers hand over their money. Sure.
Guys, if you have been to the theatre, please, Lion King, thumbs up or thumbs down. Love to know. And that could be in any production. Doesn't have to be the UK production. Just what was it not worth? Right. So that was my number 7.
Tucky says, I saw this at the cinema and not seen since, but I do remember it was pretty solid, well worth a watch. Very stylish movie too. Gavin Mann says, I saw the Wizard of Oz spin-off TV series called Emerald City, which was a bit darker and also not a bad watch.
I think I got hold of a couple of episodes. Never got around to watching it though.
Gavin Mann is saying, AJ, you stay in London and you haven't seen Wicked or Book of Mormon.
I'm terrible and cheap. I'm not gonna lie. If it doesn't come with like a Cineworld membership that I can get in there, I'm like, how much?
Yeah, it's not cheap. The theatre. Fuck me.
And then rush tickets are so annoying.
What's that?
Rush tickets are so annoying because you look at it, you're like, fuck, I just missed
it. Yeah. Gavin Mann says, big up Big Tone with the unlimited power. Tucky is going to be seeing the Book of Mormon on Friday. Super jealous.
What do you think of it?
Huh?
I'd like to know. I'd like to hear,
I want to hear what Tucky has to say next week. Tell us what you thought of of Book of Mormon. Just remember, Hasidiga Iboa, and you'll see it. You'll know what I mean. Gavin Mann is pitching something back. A lad in London. Yes, Gavin. Old school reference.
Thank you, Gavin. I need to start. We need to start putting a bit of pen to paper on that and just find a couple of you. I've actually got quite a few dramatic students actually, who I want to put a big shout out to. They're going to be starring in a Harry Potter series, which is on YouTube at the moment. It's not produced by Warner Brothers, but Warner Brothers have approved it to go through. So it's like a prequel, coincidentally, a prequel in itself. So you got like Harry's parents in it and stuff. So
cool. Is Harry going to be in it?
Don't think so.
They should recast Harry Potter. They absolutely should recast Harry Potter. They should absolutely recast. Some people are pitching that motherfucker to be Wolverine.
Bro, I told you about this.
Get the fuck out my face.
I've seen the fan art. It's not pretty.
Get out my face with this. Do not come at me with that.
Honestly, and I've never really shat on Daniel Radcliffe's acting abilities, but I honestly,
I know Daniel Radcliffe's acting what?
Abilities, whether that's good or bad, it's an ability.
No, it's not. You need to have it for it to be an ability.
Right, okay.
He knows how to memorize a script. End of.
So, but here we go. What I'm getting at is, I honestly cannot picture Daniel Radcliffe pulling off angry in any way, angry or threatening in any way, shape, or form.
You want to see Daniel Radcliffe playing angry? Watch The Prisoner of Azkaban. He was their friend. He was their friend. Shut the fuck up, you little Avatar gay smurf.
Careful.
I know. I shouldn't have said that. Whatever. I get very pumped when I talk about Daniel Radcliffe because he's so shit. He's so shit.
How can you compare him to an Avatar and he's got nothing on their height? Smurfs, I don't accept.
That's true. Smurf. There you go. Smurf.
But yeah, no, I couldn't imagine him. Shut up, Charles. I'm not having it. Like, he's not going to be Wolverine in any way, shape, or form. It's just
Shut up, Charles. He was their friend. Logan's angry. Oh, sure. Zac Efron, however.
Efron, I think I can see Efron doing it. I really can.
I love it. Efron or Tom Hardy? For Tom Hardy's Venom, it would make it too complicated.
Hardy would actually be a good Sabretooth.
Either works for me.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hang on, we've got a few things that have come in here. Gavin Mann says, I don't know if it was true, but I read Daniel Radcliffe is to play Weird Al Yankovic in a new biopic about the same musician. That's true. That one's actually confirmed.
Yeah, I think
that one's confirmed. Frank Torres says, bears repeating, Radcliffe's best acting role was as a farting corpse in Swiss Army Man. Lol. Tucky says, I'm not sure you can recast Wolverine. That's how iconic Jackman is. Okay, Jackman was terrible casting as the Wolverine. Terrible.
But hold on, either way, I know you're going to talk about the proportions and whatnot. However, people said Jack Nicholson could never be replaced. Just saying, as the Joker.
Yeah. No role no actor is bigger than a role. Ever. Actors are there to serve the characters, not the other way around.
You could set pace, but yeah, it doesn't necessarily always win.
And listen, and just to touch on that, Tucky, I love Hugh Jackman. Love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. But I draw your attention back to the late 90s when they cast a 6'2" Australian stage dance tap dancer to play Wolverine. The world was not happy. Now all I'm hearing when I pitch Zac Efron, you even said it yourself. Now all I'm hearing when I pitch Zac Efron is the guy from Glee. We're not going to be hearing that for much longer because people are eventually going to stop. The guy from High School Musical, thank you. People are eventually going to start watching his movies like Parkland, like Ted Bundy, like this new Firestarter, where you're going to see that he's actually really good. And they'll stop calling him the Glee guy.
High School Musical guy.
Huh?
High School Musical guy.
The High School Musical guy. That's the one.
He's like a secret Gleek or something. Like you just seem to be like drawing to that.
That's the one. But you know what? We're not going to be hearing for much longer, AJ. As of next Friday. Yeah, boy. As of next Friday, the one thing you're not going to hear anymore is Twilight, boy. You're not going to hear that anymore.
Do you know, it's one of those things that I'm really hoping to be the case, because I feel when it comes to this character, this actor that is Robert Pattinson, is that he's either been like center stage on films that haven't had mass publicity, aside from Twilight,
amazing,
or he's like the side character, because he wasn't shit in Tenet, he wasn't shit in Harry Potter, he just wasn't the main guy, so people don't draw that attention. So it's like, yeah, like this is the one that will be like, okay, now I see what you're about. But then there's this other side that I feel like, not through his choice, if they go down this emo Batman thing and people don't adopt it, they're gonna be like, look, he fucks Batman up as well. That's the sad bit. It's not him pulling off the performance, he will nail it.
Not going to happen.
Bro, I'm very excited for this film, but I'm just also putting out facts that I see it as. So just putting it out there. Right.
Tis not a fact. Tis not a fact.
Statements, just areas of points, like certain areas. But anyway, we've digressed from plays to cats to
many a thing. It's one of those episodes.
To 3 different kinds of suckers, and we will just
the suckers, right? We've done a few things here, haven't we? Cool. What was the movie again?
Oz the Great and Powerful. Yeah,
that's right. The one. Few comments just quickly. Few comments have come in quickly. Frank Torres with the quote, "How dare you stand where he stood, Magneto?" Andy Hart's with me. Efron would be excellent as Wolverine. Tucky says, "I'm open-minded. I wasn't sure about Craig as Bond or Ledger as Joker. I was wrong on both." Nah, you were wrong on one of them. Tucky says, "If not for Mission Impossible 2, Dougray Scott would have to be a great Wolverine." Yes, agreed.
Age is not on his side though.
Nope, it's not. And Frank Torres says, "Batman marketing in the US is leaning heavily on Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman." I've heard this. I've heard that she's meant to be one of the standouts of the film. Not Twilight, boy, but just wait for it.
Which is actually sad for the other villains out there, but that could also lean on what your theory was about these villains being like just little teasers of to what's to come next. So yeah. Right. So you know what? While we're on the comic book subject, let's keep it a bit more comic book. In the world of the MCU.
3 things are sure in life.
Yeah, and it's not for the first time. For the first time, but not for the last time. We are in the world of Marvel, and we are talking Captain Marvel. Do you have a dispute that that's a prequel?
Prequel to what?
To any story leading up to. Basically, it's any character before the Avengers, superhero. It's in that whole timeline of story. It goes back in time. Even down to the fact that at the end of it, it shows a part where she said, "Where's Fury?" Then it leads into Endgame. It's part of the story. It's gone back in time. It's set in the 80s. Then we go into 2015 or whatever year we were at.
This is a grey area, this one. Because
so?
It's more of an origin story than anything.
It's an origin story, but it's gone back in time. And we did say it. A prequel can be an origin story. There's a trilogy that's based on a man's origin, for God's sakes. I'm not going to touch on it now, but it's a fact.
Yeah, and it's known as the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, but it's also an origin story. Yes or no? From the point of him being picked up on a planet to the point of him screaming no. Like, don't fuck with me, bro. I've done it.
What a great way to describe his journey. You make it sound so like pedophile kidnapping too. He was picked up on a planet and then said no. Where did they touch you to make you say no? The finger sucking baby snatcher. Good lord! Being picked up on a planet.
If anyhow Kevin Spacey was Qui-Gon Jinn, that would have just really like sealed it completely.
He'd be a good Qui-Gon too.
He would have. Could you imagine if Qui-Gon?
The boy is the chosen one. Oh, he's your flavor of the week, is he, motherfucker?
If Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan were Kevin Spacey and James Franco, this would have been a complete different kind of Star Wars. I'm just saying. So yeah, but jokes is that I actually shouldn't make humor of it, but yes, no, it did sound wrong in many ways, but yeah, that is an origin. So if you're going to take the timeline and the scale, this was another one. Why do you have that quirky look on your face?
Quirky look?
You do. You have this look of I'm listening, but I'm not sure. Sometimes we'll comment.
No, I'm going to echo Frank Torres' words here. Captain Marvel, I'll allow it.
Of course,
I'll allow it.
You have to. Because it makes break it down as to why it can't be. It's an origin story. Anything else? Go.
I'll allow it.
Because you can't disallow it. That's essentially why you
allow it.
Was it my favorite movie? No, because I feel any film that was in between Infinity War and Endgame had this very difficult struggle of being accepted because the world was in anticipation. That's the difficult part about it, but it is a cool origin story. I feel it's difficult to talk about this because there are times that you've seen a film and you could see the ending like right there directly. I missed it. This is the vice versa. I saw it straight away, like the whole Viz.
Yeah, I didn't catch Viz at all.
Like, had we seen it together, I'd have been like, "That's because she's Carol Danvers." Like, it was there, and I just saw all these parts, but. When we look at the whole formation of who is potentially one of the most powerful, I won't go for the most powerful.
No, because Doctor Strange is the thing.
Coming in?
Doctor Strange is the most powerful Avenger. Carry on.
Well, when Doctor Strange 2 takes place in a certain Maximoff shows differently.
The MCU nerfed my guy. I can't explain that. He's too powerful.
You know what? I could be completely wrong. They may give him all of his flowers, but yeah.
Nah, there's no MCU if Strange
they are gonna give like Wanda everything, but you can't discount who Doctor Strange is either. But yeah, no, it's one of those films that I had great enjoyment with, but I could see the ending like a mile away, and that's what bugged me. There was a few plot twists along the way, which gave me some excitement.
Yeah, Marvel. I was like, that's nice.
Yeah,
playing Marvel. I was like, okay.
They brought that in. They answered the question of what exactly happened with Nick Fury's eye. It had its comedic moments. It was nice to get. It's always nice to get a bit.
Cat.
What is it? No, it wasn't a cat. I can't remember. A flurfer or something like that.
Yeah,
flirkin. That But it was nice, and it's always nice to go back into the 90s and get that part. Like,
there's how you make it a prequel, mate. It's the Nick Fury eye origin story.
The Nick Fury eye origin story, as well as someone else's story. But yeah, and being able to like,
origins of blindness.
Origins of blindness, yeah, and early stages of S.H.I.E.L.D., how they first interacted with aliens when it wasn't this big situation.
It's a prequel, as I said, I'll allow it.
Yeah, it was all good, but yeah, no Captain Marvel, nice bit of fun.
Gavin Mann says, will there be any international appearances? I don't think on my side, Gavin. No. I couldn't think of any. No, Frank Torres says, while we're here, what is your opinion of Brie Larson as Captain Marvel in general? Thumbs up or down? For me, it's a massive thumbs up.
I like Brie Larson, so I can't really comment. I just feel that Captain Marvel, do you know what it is? It's the marketing of Captain Marvel. It's not Brie Larson because she pulls it off. It was the strongest Avenger. Like, you're going to see this. Like, it all goes, this is it. This is the one you need to wait for. And again, as I said, it's the timing. Had they done this pre-Infinity War, it's a different story. She comes in and she carries a ship and then she vanishes for the rest of the film, which I get. It's like when I talk about Superman, like if you have a Justice League, get rid of Superman for a while because he's unstoppable. Essentially, that's what she is. And that's the thing, it's difficult to be that person. But I think Captain Marvel too, I think they're calling it the Marvels. I think we're going to see her excel again. Come again?
Going to see who?
We're going to see her excel again as an actress.
For sure. But they're also going to introduce Kamala Khan, aren't they?
Yeah, that's why it's called the Marvels, isn't it? Because I think it's going to be Captain Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting one.
What a weird world we live in. We live in a world where, hang on, just break this down. We're getting Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, and She-Hulk. I mean, Moon Knight's a character people haven't heard of. We live in a world where Guardians of the Galaxy are part of pop culture.
Yeah.
Fucking mental.
It's absolutely insane. And I mean, I've always said it. I'm the biggest comic book geek who's not read many comics. No, I have read a few. Right?
That's true.
Now, with this, right, I relied heavily on like a Fox Kid cartoon and be like, oh my God, like you join the dots. Like Spider-Man introduced me to a lot of people. Like Doctor Strange was thanks to Spider-Man, the animated series, right? Blade made his appearance. Daredevil made his appearance also.
Was Doctor Strange in Spidey?
He was,
yeah, because Baron Mordo was in it, so Strange was in it, of course.
Yeah, Strange was in it, Blade was in it, Daredevil was in it. Like
that Blade series was amazing in The Amazing Spider-Man. I love that little sort of 3-4 episodes.
And this is the thing, like they even the crossovers were a thing in that, even like the Fantastic Four, Hulk, all of these characters and their own shows introduce you to a little bit more of the world of Marvel. Then there was the Avengers cartoon, not so great. But
which one? Earth's Mightiest Heroes or Assemble?
I think it was Assemble.
I thought one of them was meant to be quite good.
Listen, Assemble could have been great, but you were taking on the Justice League, which was that was an awesome cartoon. That if you came out at the same time or just after, you didn't like the Justice League cartoon. No, I had a lot of fun with that, man. I remember.
I'm that weird guy who thinks that the DC cartoons are seriously fucking overrated.
Including
the hype. No. I mean the cartoon movies.
No, but I'm talking. But the cartoon.
I know you are. I'm tangenting.
Yeah, but the films you can give or take. I've had great fun with them, but they were extended series to me, like feature length episodes, if you would.
Yeah.
I feel the Justice League, the way they built that up and then continued the story, it literally was a continuation of Batman. I think it was really good, personally speaking.
Fair enough. All right, top 5 time. Forewarning to everyone, I've gone into big IP territory here. So my top 5 are all big IPs.
Though, is it?
Yeah. Big IPs.
If you're not a big IP, you're not going to get a prequel.
This is it. My number 5 is the punt from earlier, Fast 5. The best Fast and Furious movie by a country mile.
So, according to previous votes, Too Fast, Too Furious won that, but it was our Instagram post, bro. It's there. Just accept it.
Just wrong. It's just wrong.
Shit happens.
Shall we put a poll up and see if that one still stands?
I'm letting the followers build up a bit more before these polls come back. Because
now, should I put one up on Twitter? Just via We Love Movies. Say what's better, Too Fast, Too Furious, or Fast 5? Are you sure you want to play this game?
As long as we do La La Land and Grease.
No.
Okay, so shut up. Right, let's move on.
No, that one was fantastic. Listen, I thought Fast 1 was weird and just weird. Fast 2, I liked because it centered around the cars. I'm a massive defender of Tokyo Drift. I love that movie. Tokyo Drift is a lot of fun. Fast 4 kind of sent the franchise in the direction that it was in, and Fast 5 just blew the bloody doors off.
Fast 5.
They brought in The Rock, and then they did this like, okay, let's just treat this like Avengers. Let's give everyone, make them all like superheroes and bring them all in.
So this is the thing. This is it. It's where it went from being Need for Speed to being God knows what it is now. That's what bugs me with this film. But I do have a lot of love for this film. For, as you said, it's like when the Avengers met the Guardians of the Galaxy. It was like everybody comes in together on this film, and that's what I think is really cool with it. That's why it got a mention for me. I do remember watching it. And is this the one where Rock gets injured? I can't remember. And then he like breaks the cast and it's like,
no, that's Fast 7.
7, yeah. They get a bit blurry for me. That's my problem with it. I
Tokyo Drift Fast 5 is the one in Brazil. It's the first time they all come together.
This is what I do remember.
That batshit crazy chase at the end with the two cars pulling the safe down the road, which is just one of the craziest fucking scenes.
It's crazy, but it's good fun. It's good fun.
It's such fun. It is such fun. Like, I've got such a soft spot for this movie. I can't tell you. As fast movies go, I love this film. Frank Torres is saying to you, Too Fast, Too Furious, what the fuck?
I had awesome fun with it.
I do like Tokyo Drift. Fuzz Aldrin says La La Land versus Grace. Gavin Mann says, is Tokyo Drift a prequel? I've only seen bits of these films. So no, Tokyo Drift's not a prequel. Tokyo Drift is a sequel.
5 and 6, if I'm not mistaken. And
4, 5, 6, and
that's it.
When does Jason Statham come in? It's 7, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
7 is post Tokyo Drift because we find out.
No.
I'm sure when Jason comes in, because Jason
Statham
was the one who killed.
Statham is 7 and Statham is post Tokyo. Yeah.
Yeah. So that 4, 5, and 6 are like a prequel trilogy.
Taki says
Tokyo Drift, which is weird.
Ducky says this was definitely the transition movie from street racing to what it is now. I like Fast 5, but the original is still my favorite. Fair enough. Andy Hart says Fast 5 is fun, the best of the franchise. The script started out as the Brazilian Job. That sounds like a euphemism. It's a sequel to the Italian Job remake. Yeah. Loved it. Your number 5, please, sir.
Right. My number 5. Right. It's my Star Wars call. I've gone for Solo, a Star Wars story.
Nice.
Listen, the prequels are probably something that may come up in your list. Which one is yet to be decided? But I actually genuinely had great fun with this. Now, I remember watching this because we were doing the ranking the Star Wars movies. There's an episode for you guys to go back for. Big Tone was there, your wife was there, girlfriend at the time, not even fiance, I believe, at the time. And yeah, we were going through we were just ranking out the Star Wars films. So obviously you had to watch them all. And I had done most of them because I had done everything in line for The Force Awakens. I banged out 6 movies. And this was just something different.
Yeah.
This was something different. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, there is a mention, but I was actually really happy to be able to watch a Star Wars movie and it didn't have a Skywalker focus on it. Like, I know it sounds shit and like blasphemy because, of course, this is what Star Wars is all about. But it's like I've done father, I've done son, I've done sister, I've done everybody.
I've done grandson.
Yeah, like this was just like, yeah, that really cool guy. Let's follow one of his adventures and let's see how he met everybody that he done. You know, how we met Chewie, how we met. Is it Lando?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there we go. It was freaking awesome.
Donald Glover's too talented.
Yes, that is also.
Donald Glover is actually too talented. It's not fair.
Yeah. Pass over that time over to Idris. Maybe he'll do a good film. Anyway, moving along. No, but
maybe get Donald to produce some of his Yardy DJ tracks in it, bruv.
I remember he was
because I am Idris and I is a DJ.
He done a song with a cancelled artist. I don't want to get into it. Well, Wiley, screw it. Said it. And when he kicks off, I'm like, you're quoting House of Pain. Like, your first line's a House of Pain. What are you doing? Yeah. But no, aside from that, it was a great adventure. I just really found it refreshing. And it just didn't rely so much. It's like a fun Western, if you would. It had something different. And I was like, this is cool. This is cool. I really like this. It was a great adventure to follow on with.
It was Butch Cassidy in space.
Yeah. Literally that.
I loved it. I do not understand what seems to be universal, not even hatred, just irreverence.
Disapproval of it. Yeah.
No irreverence. It's a really good film. It's a really fun little film. Your brother, Nathan Jordan, says, did the guy from Tokyo Drift ever join in any of the other movies? Yes, Nate, he did. He had a brief appearance in Fast 7, very brief.
But isn't that the one where he just literally says a word and vanishes?
It was a throwaway scene with Vin Diesel.
It was literally like, yeah, so this is the info I know. And then
But then he's a lot in Fast 9. Has quite a big role in that. Yeah. He's got older. It's like, shit! Fuck! Tokyo Drift wasn't so long ago. Why you look so old already? What the fuck?
I'm actually oh god. I'm actually scared to fact check Tokyo Drift year.
2005 would be my guess. Go on, fact check me on that.
Oh, you're not too bad. 2006.
Okay.
That is my god.
AJ, do you realize that Star Wars is going to be 45 years old this year?
Do you know the thing about Star Wars being 45 years old? I'm not 45 years old. Yeah? Do you get it? So when you hear that, you're like, okay, a film that I was aware of being an old film is that old. It's kind of like Rocky. Rocky kind of made me go, but it's like, well, it was around before I knew it. The films that I'm aware of, and I went to the cinema to see, aka stuff like The Matrix, and you're like, that's 22 years old. Excuse me, what? That's when I get pissed off.
Do you want to hear a fucked up one? This coming July, 10 years since Robin Williams died.
I looked at something like this the other day. It was like 10 years since someone passed. I was like, it can't be.
Yeah.
It can't be.
It's mad.
God. People appreciate time, honestly, and appreciate your loved ones. Yeah, blink and you miss it, man.
It's so quick, isn't it? Game of life.
Yeah.
Your brother then goes on to say the Fast movies are honestly a joke, though.
But this is kind of why I stopped it. Yeah.
Behave. Frank Torres says, I hope they bring Emilia Clarke back to Star Wars at some point. Hell yeah, she was great. Gavin Man,
like a TV series.
It could be. Gavin Man says, where did Big Tone rank episode 3 again? The only answer to that, Gavin, is too high. Liverpool Music says, thoughts on Red Dragon Boys? Liverpool Music, it was my, I believe, number 6. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's good to have. Yeah, number 6 of Red Dragon. Good movie. Tucky says, Jurassic Park is 30 years next year. Now, what?
Oh, no. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. No. I don't want to hear that.
It can't be.
It probably is. It's got to be like 90. Yeah. 93.
It can't be. I was born in 87 and I was not 4.
Hold on. Jurassic Park, I think, depends where you are, because I think we probably got it in 94. But it may have been 93 elsewhere.
Rude boy. How is that 30? What the fuck? Oh shit, the first movie I ever saw at the cinema was 30 years ago. That sucks.
You obviously didn't see your first film at like 10, 12, did you? So yeah.
This is what I'm saying.
Oh man.
Oh man. Andy Hart says, I think I first saw Star Wars before you were born. Lol.
Sorry, Andy, says, I kind of like threw you under the bus with that one, but I was like, oh,
Frank Torres says the problem with Solo was that they released it 5 months after one of the sequels. People had Star Wars fatigue. There was that, and people were having a bit of beef about episode 8 and they boycotted.
Yeah. I think that's one of the problems. But I mean, it kind of falls in the same category as Captain Marvel, where it's like, I'm waiting for something else. You're a star, but I also found it very different. That I found it refreshing. That was my thing. But then
so that was my
overly waiting for episode 9. So it's like, yeah.
That was my 5. Your 5.
How did we skip?
No, I'm first. Fast 5. Now it's
you. Because I've done 6. Oh, sorry.
No, I've just done 5. Now it's you. What's your 5?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I said Solo. Yeah, we just finished Solo.
Sorry. My bad. Get your finger ready on the punt. I imagine this is going to be your number 1. Or close to. X-Men First Class.
Yep. Punt. So it's either same territory or punt. I remember we went to 3 films. Each one of us came up with our own favorites. I was Wreck-It Ralph. Zadie was Into the Spider-Verse. You were Bumblebee.
Okay, it's my number 3.
Fair play.
This film's so good.
I don't remember the excitement as the film opened. I don't even want to say the name wrong. What's the name?
No, go. Make me happy. Go for it.
Is it Voltron, the planet? What's the planet?
Cybertron.
And oh my god, it's Cybertron! It was like scream after scream, and it was fully warranted. Like it for everything that, and I haven't finished Transformers, and I remember I've reviewed, which guys, yeah, I'm not going to anyone go through the trouble of making you have to do that link above, but for anyone just go into our history and just check like Nico's review of The Last Night, there was so much disappointment from a man who lives Transformers, right? That it was like how can I say it? Transformers 1, thumbs up. 2, thumbs up. Like it goes up and then it
I'll defend Transformers 2 all day long. I don't give a fuck. This is my guy. Here.
For those listening, that's a small Optimus Prime Funko that he just pulled up to the screen. But that's the thing. And I remember the pain and hurt. And we walk into Bumblebee, and it was nothing but smiles and excitement. It's Cybertron! It's that! Oh my god! And then you hear Optimus Prime, oh my god! Like it was, yeah, the excitement was uncontainable.
I fucking lost
Absolutely uncontainable. So
it was happiness. It made me so happy. I was like, you see, you can make a good Transformers movie. But here's the problem. Hollywood is a town of what have you done for me lately? Shout out to Janet. But literally, The Last Night was so bad that people didn't see Bumblebee. People were so angry with Part 5, they didn't see Bumblebee. And it's so good. So good. And do you know what I love? You could smell the 1980s on it.
Oh yeah.
My word.
All the tracks that come out and everything. Yeah, it's tops. So before people put it out there, considering we haven't had a sequel or anything else, this is not a reboot. This is not a reboot. I would see this because it was like some people called it a soft reboot. Until anything else is out there, and the fact that Bumblebee was also in the car lot, which proves it was already on the planet, tells me we can also use this as an origin / prequel story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's definitely a prequel. There's no doubt about it.
But it was called a soft reboot. But yeah,
it's definitely a soft reboot. But it fulfilled a number of things.
Yeah,
but that opening,
the excitement. Honestly, it was. Oh, guys, you had to be there. You had to be there to witness it.
I must have grabbed your arm so hard.
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
Oh my god! It was hearing Soundwave. Ravage, eject. I was like, no, they've done that.
It was a bombastic start. Honestly, it was
just like, do you know what? If you're a Transformers fan, let's actually give you what you want.
But you know what? Even for me, and I've always said it's weird because at the same time, I had the bootleg, and I know I followed the bootleg like mad. You had Transformers, but you also had Mask on TV, and I just watched them all, and they're all one and the same to me. I get very confused with it. So I'm like, okay, I've seen Transformers. Even for me, that was like, this is awesome. This is all kinds of cool. It just gives you all the notes that you're like, yeah, why didn't the first one start like this? That's kind of the way I felt.
You get me. And look, they made the Transformers look normal. They didn't do all of these millions of parts on them. It's like, oh, look, I can actually follow.
That was also a problem I've had with Transformers along the way.
Yeah. We have to make them look like they have a million pieces. No, you don't.
No, just transform. That's all it has to do.
Yes.
Transform.
Just
from
everything was perfect.
Robot looking person. That's all we needed.
It was perfect. That was the most satisfying film for me that year. Oh, so happy. Fuzz Aldrin says, the director of Bumblebee is Travis Knight. I'm aware of this, and he is also the owner and creator of Laika Studios. Laika makes the best movies on earth. I believe Laika also did Kubo and the Two Strings, which was phenomenal. Gavin Mann says 2 sequels turn 30 this year, Home Alone 2 and Batman Returns. Liverpool
That
Music
means
says
Beethoven also does, because I remember that.
Yeah.
I couldn't go to Batman Returns. Yeah.
Oh shit. Liverpool Music says a Bond prequel wouldn't actually be a bad way to reboot 007, The College Years, starring Tom Holland. Andy Hart says, AJ, The Last Night. It's infectious. Must block the porn. Blocking the porn. Porn is blocked. Big Tone says, oh no, you guys put Solo on the list. Shut up.
Stop. Do you know what? This Pratt, who I love dearly, says, I'm popping in and then I'm vanishing because I have to mention something. He then hung around. He hung around to shit on the better prequel movie compared to the one that he's going to come at. Yeah, try to defend it.
Unlimited power.
Hang around, Big Tone. Hang around. Keep hanging around, bro. Thank you for joining us on this journey.
Andy says, yes, it's definitely intended as a prequel. Bumblebee turns into a Camaro at the end as we first see him in Transformers. Correct.
Indeed.
Exactly right. Yeah. Andy Hart, not reading your next comment because... Stay tuned. Mixed Memorabilia says, hello, guys. Tennis practice today, so late, but thank you very much for joining us, Mixed Memorabilia. I hope tennis practice was good. Frank Torres says, there actually is a James Bond Jr. cartoon. Oh, God, really?
Is he blonde? That shouldn't go there.
Andy says, lol, now everyone is entitled to a wrong opinion. So glad you recognize that, mate.
Confession is good for the soul. It's the first.
Confession is very good. Acceptance is a huge part of the process.
Yeah, with the recovery. Yeah. There we go.
Oh man. So your 3, my 2. So your 2.
No, my 4. Your 3.
Your 4, my 3. So your 3.
Yeah. So this is another one where people are going to be like, I allow it because it's going to be an origin story, but we do actually see Batman at the beginning saying, oh, your picture, could you please explain? This is the second and last of the comic book world for me. A film that I love dearly, Wonder Woman. You're going to go down there. I'll allow it again, are we?
Is it a prequel?
Well, it leads to literally, well, it's an origin story, I'm not going to deny it, but it builds up into the whole foundation of how she was here and how she joined the Justice League. We look at the Justice League and he randomly just pulls out a file, but he also said, I have this picture, which she then goes on to explain the whole story of how she came from where she was to the point of where she joins the Justice League and later on to be called to join the Justice League movie.
So this is your only comic book movie? This is the last?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay, I don't know you as
well. Actually, no, that's a lie because I punted.
Oh, you punted me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
but that's the only other one.
Yeah.
Huh. Don't know you as well as I thought.
C'est la vie.
Have you changed your list?
C'est la vie. Anyway,
have you changed your list?
I acknowledge certain mistakes that we make in life.
Hang on. No. Have you changed your list?
Listen.
I didn't see your list. Have you changed your list?
An adjustment had to be made because otherwise I'd have 9 films on my list.
Oh my God, there's a career for you in politics, Boris. Answer the question.
I just said you change your list? Had to be made to my list because I would have 9 films on my list otherwise. That's all we have to go for.
Yes or no? Did you change your list? Okay, cool. Yes or no? Was Joker in your list?
Yes.
Okay. Was Joker your number 1?
Yes.
Fuck you. You took that joy away from me. Not a prequel.
I can't have 9 films in the list. So then
also, I thought you would say the Joker. So you've double fucked me.
Well, I haven't actually said the name once. You've said it. I've just said yes or no. So you fucked yourself.
No, but I thought when we were, if it had stayed on your list, you would have said the Joker, and I would have been able to say, no, it's Joker.
Yeah. Now who's the Joker? Anyway,
you've taken lots of joys away from me.
I'm sorry. I apologize. But it's the Movie Mount Rushmore where we both have 10 films. I'm not about to do it. Last time I had to make a rectification. I eliminated something. So essentially, if we have to go into truth and fitting in, Captain Marvel hadn't made the list prior, but that's where she would have made it because she was on the substitute list around that figure. But I felt that, again, Wonder Woman it went out of those 2 films that I've had. They're not entirely similar, but they both played that origin building up into a greater film. I preferred Wonder Woman a lot more. Fluffed third act is the issue with this film, but I believe it was absolutely amazing. It was a journey we really enjoyed, and it was so refreshing that DC was actually putting out something good for the first time in a long time.
Since Man of Steel.
Well, and Man is still after Dark Knight?
Yeah.
No. Was it?
Man
Yes,
of
it
Steel
was.
was well after the Dark Knight.
Yeah. There we go. So, yeah, exactly. Since Man of Steel, there was no in betweens on that. So it was really refreshing.
Although, this guy's got such a soft spot for Suicide Squad.
Yeah, all right.
Yes, it's bad, I know, but I like it.
No. Do you know what it is? I mean, Suicide Squad or the Suicide Squad? Both can fit. But in that arc of story that they were trying to tell, let's put it that way, in that continuation of their universe, even though it kind of Suicide Squad is just on the side. They were a bit like the Guardians, like yeah, we're telling you the story, but it's not linked into the main story, essentially.
Right.
So yeah, I've had fun with Suicide Squad. I'm not going to shit on it. I'm not going to be like, oh no, just because everyone else has said it. No, I've had fun with it. I'm not. Yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. And can I also say that the biggest disappointment, and I've still not watched it, and I don't know when I will, 1984. What a terrible follow-up. Within 10 minutes of watching the film, I said, no way. The first one was it. The villain, the choice of who you chose to play your villains just made Wonder Woman weak. Fluffed at the end is why I'll say it's fluff lines. I just think,
yeah, right.
Good actor, just not for that role. In a nutshell. Yeah, there we are. That's my number 3.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go through a few questions. So Big Tone throwing some shade your way. Bet you put Captain Marvel on there too. Lol. It's kind of a prequel, I guess. Big Tone Joker is absolutely not a prequel, so we agree on that. Mixed Memorabilia says, this could be a fantastic 2-horse race. The Godfather Part 2 and that Star Wars movie, which was a prequel. Which one? There's a few.
Yeah, well, this is it. Don't let
I know the one they mean. Andy Hart says Tom Holland pitched a young James Bond to Sony. That gave them the idea of casting him as a young Nathan Drake. Q rant from Nico. Nah, listen, Tom Holland in anything I'm happy with. Do I see him as James Bond? No.
So here's young James Bond possibly, but do you know what I heard? Going back to, and I know you were very like it was average. It was vanilla when it came to.
It was beige vanilla.
There we go. I was on one of the socials the other day, and I saw someone saying they're going to go see Uncharted for the 3rd time. Like they loved it that much. So I'm actually quite intrigued to see what other people think of Uncharted.
Yeah, good. Then I'm really glad.
No. But I was just like, I'm my expectation is leveled with what you came out saying. I wasn't like expecting a game changer.
Remember, I came out and said it's not a bad movie.
No, bro. It's
just there.
Yeah, fair play. But to hear someone who's going for the 3rd time, I was like, wow,
good.
Some people really appreciate. No, I'm just waiting to hear other people's take on the film. So, guys, if you have seen it, drop your thoughts.
Yes, thoughts below. UFC UK Talks, which is the show that I run with Den the Tech. Hey, y'all, Den the Tech here, but only for a little while. Gavin Mann says, can't wait for Nico to reveal the Phantom Menace as his number 1. Shh. Silence. Spoilers, Gavin. Wait till the end. Big Tone says, you man need to define what you think a prequel is. Very simple. A movie that is released after, but in which the story is set before. So
basically, let's go out there. And just for your benefit, Nico, The Joker doesn't count because
thank you. It's Joker, AJ.
Oh, shock horror. Apologies. Joker doesn't count because essentially it doesn't lead to another film. If you look back, and this is where I just realized that the argument was fluffed because otherwise I'd have gone to the hills. Each other Batman incarnation, he meets the Joker for the first time. So it doesn't work. Even though the origin is there for a young Bruce Wayne turning into Batman, how does it lead into the others? Essentially,
there's still a part of me that thinks that this coming Batman movie is a follow-up to it.
It could be, and the other side of it is that there could be another Joker, which could tie it into any other film because...
Well, you've seen in the trailer, there's those guys who've got Joker war paint on.
Which is essentially everyone that you've seen at the end of Joker anyway. So
right, it could be a link to Joker.
Yeah, the torch could be passed on.
Dude, I wouldn't say no to fucking Joaquin Phoenix and Robert Pattinson acting together.
No, Oof. But we could get a Jack Napier out of there. Who knows? Like, who knows that he may even influence Oh God, Dallas Buyers Club. What's his name? I'm blanking. Morbius.
Jared Leto.
Jared. Yeah. Who knows what? Who knows how they want to rectify it? What they're retconning, what they're not. DC will do what they do. I will watch what I watch. That's the best way I can put it there. The only thing that was
all
worse
of
than
the
this,
stuff. If it's comic book stuff, you will watch all of it.
It's fading. Listen, this podcast. Listen, I have a soft spot for it, but it's not the must sees anymore. But also to the point is the only thing that was more messed up than the DC timeline is a Fox timeline. Just putting it out there. Yeah.
Continuity, schmontinuity. Ain't no continuity with Fox. Then the text says, episode 1 sucks. Ding dong, you're wrong. Frank Torres says, speaking of the Suicide Squad, you guys watch Peacemaker? Not yet. Really want to.
Not actually fully available over in the UK, so you've got.
I'm gonna wait till it's available on one of the platforms, just streaming platforms, just so I can watch it in proper quality. Big Tone says Peacemaker is amazing. This is what I've heard. Dan the Tech also says Peacemaker was really good. Andy Hart then goes on to say Uncharted was okay, extremely okay. Now that it's proper okay. Big Tone says if the Batman is a follow-up, it's a sequel to the Joker. Then correct. Andy Hart says AJ is going to be so paranoid he will start dropping the when it should be there.
It comes when it comes now. I honestly don't give. Like, as I said, like, I've actually...
Are we still talking about the word the?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It comes when it comes. Just
behave. I have nephews watching.
No!
Yeah. As in,
behave. What's the fun in that?
Do you know what? For the longest while, and this goes back to, like, my teens, that one AJ has always been my thing. This podcast is slowly making me want to change it to THE, but I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about that. Like
Taj.
Yeah, it'd be weird. Like, yeah, where we go with this?
Taj, anyway. You'd be like that little kid from Smart Guy, Taj Mori.
Could be.
He's a smart guy. That's a throwback for you.
There we go. You are. I don't know if that's fun fact. I'm sure most people knew. You know, he's the younger brother to Tia and Tamara Mori of Sister.
Oh, I did not know that.
Oh, right. Yeah, he is. Yeah, there we go.
No shit. Nice. Gavin Man says, AJ Nico, do you find that you pick the Rushmore differently from before now that it goes to a Twitter poll? Yes.
Twitter, yeah, Rushmore is different for sure. And it's weird. It's not that we spoke to ourselves, but we did at one point. I have become so conscious of what the hell I've seen. It's not just reaching, because I guarantee you there would have been a way that I would have found a Die Hard to be in here for some reason. Like I actually,
for sure,
like the mission, sure. The mission, something like a prequel is going to be strictly IPs, but the mission I put myself through on a weekly basis because it's weird.
Those Irish movies are really going to fuck with the AJ here.
I've already started researching. Leave me alone.
You too.
But it's one of those things that, like, I know movies, and as a kid had more time for movies and stuff. But I'm aware that I could talk movies, but I hadn't necessarily seen the movies. I'd be like, "Yeah, Godfather, fucking kick ass." That now it's like you can't pull that shit off anymore. Like, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Reservoir Dogs, man. Yeah. No, like, had you not given me a video, Reservoir Dogs, Tarantino. Yeah, no, don't do that anymore. It's like there is knowledge in here, and you need to know what you're doing. So,
knowledge.
Talking of that,
Andy Hart says, on the subject of Twitter polls, are you guys forgetting something?
Do you know what? Earlier, yeah, that was my fault. That was my bad. I set it up, but then something kicked off and distracted me. Yeah, we're gonna have to go old school for once because it's a prequel. We're going.
We'll do it. What's a prequel going old school? Very good, very good. Well played, and thank you for reminding us, Andy.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a fuck up on my end. I promise you.
Big Tone, you guys mentioned The Thing is a prequel, so yeah, 2011's The Thing is indeed a prequel. It's good, not quite good enough for my top 10.
Not seen it, so I shall shut up.
It's nowhere near as good as the original.
Fair play.
It's such a CG fest in some places.
Some films do that.
Mm-hmm.
Some films do that. It's sad. It's sad, but real.
It's got some really cool ideas in it, though. But
fair play.
So my number 2?
Yes. Yeah. That's all right.
I'm bringing in the prequel to my favorite trilogy ever. I'm going The Hobbit.
This nearly made the list for me
and I'm going Part 2, The Desolation of Smaug.
That wouldn't have made the list because I've not got that yet.
I love the Hobbit trilogy, although I don't have much time for the third part of it, just because it shouldn't have been a trilogy. It should have been 2 movies. It should have been a bit tighter, and it should have been 2 movies, not 3. 3 was too much. In the end, you just got left with a big battle, and they didn't do it the way they did Helm's Deep and Pelennor in the Lord of the Rings. It went very CG heavy.
But this is one of the things I do recall. One of the problems of why the Hobbit probably didn't do as well is that in the original trilogy, Jackson went all out. He would hire 150 people to march, whereas now he copied and pasted people.
and obviously, there are parts in the old ones where it's CG, like when they're on top of the walls of Minas Tirith and it pans around the whole battlefield. Obviously, that's CG, but there were parts where they did CG in the Battle of Five Armies, so the third part of the Hobbit trilogy, where it's like, why'd you do it there? Like literally the elves swinging their swords, for instance. It was like, well, you didn't need to do that. That's you cutting corners, which, yeah. Oh, shit! Look who's just joined us. JT is in the house.
Hey, the man. Mr.
My
JT.
guy. JT has joined us for the first time.
Thank you very much, guys. We love movies. At Movie Polls for You, the Twitter page to follow. This is the guy that retweet and pin weekly. Okay.
Yeah.
JT, welcome. Welcome.
So good to have you here, bro.
Absolute pleasure.
So good to have you here. Yeah, I think he's kind of easing his way into the show, and he's going to be here for our Drunk Rushmore.
If there was ever an episode.
JT, my friend, you have missed I would say you've probably missed most of the list. Just for JT's sake, as a kind of welcome present, can we quickly run through our list? We're just on our number 2s at the moment. JT, so far... Yeah, go for it. Go your 10 through 3.
In at number 10 for me was The Godfather Part 2. Only reason is because it's a sequel as well as a prequel. In at number 9, Fast 5. In at number 8, Monsters University. Number 7 was Oz the Great and Powerful. 6, Captain Marvel. 5, Star Wars Solo, A Star Wars Story. 4, Bumblebee, Every Adventure Has a Beginning. 3, Wonder Woman.
And that's it.
That's
as far as we got for you. JT, for me, I went with 10, Monsters University. 9, The Godfather Part 2. 8, Prometheus. 7, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. 6, Red Dragon. 5, Fast 5. 4, X-Men First Class. 3, Bumblebee. And we are currently on my number 2, which is The Hobbit and the Desolation of Smaug. And let's bring us back here just quickly. Bang, here we go. Yeah, so I really had a good time with this film.
This is the one that you said, what's his name? Doctor Strange does the mocap.
Yeah. No.
Benedict.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
I could for a reason, for some reason. Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch doing the mocap for a dragon was insanely good. The way he portrayed Smaug as this kind of sociopath, this narcissistic dragon, revel in my glory, look at my splendor. I mean, it's completely on point with how Tolkien wrote the character, but to bring that to life, like a fucking small man trapped inside a dragon's body with a god complex and a strong hint of narcissism. Like, to make a dragon like that, I mean, it makes the world of sense, but man, he brought it to screen. And the same way that Bilbo and Gollum had their amazing Riddles in the Dark scene in the first Hobbit movie, and it was stellar. The acting going on between Martin
Freeman.
Thank you.
It's late.
Between Martin Freeman and Benedict. Oh, between Martin and Benedict. And then what's funny is that obviously these guys then went on to did Sherlock, didn't they, together?
Yes.
So the chemistry was always there. But that whole thing with the dragon is it's sensational filmmaking.
I still need to see Doctor Strange meet the guy from Black Panther. It's just got to be done, doesn't it?
It's true, right? Yeah, right. It's very true. But yeah, I'm an abashed defender of these movies. We don't need to compare, but if we are comparing, are they as good as Lord of the Rings? No, obviously not. But do I like them? Yes, a lot. AJ, you're number 2.
Right, so this is one of our punts from earlier. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Okay,
that high for you, huh? When was the last time you watched it?
Bearing in mind it was my number 3 earlier. Not too long ago, actually. Can't remember when, but...
So I rewatched it last night. This is not a good film. This is really quite stupid in some parts.
But it's stupid, but it's just stupid fun of Indiana Jones. Like, that's the way I digested it.
Yes.
And I found it a bit more exciting than Raiders.
There's definitely more exciting than
Raiders.
It's more
exciting than Raiders, and that's why I felt like it led to the journey. Obviously, I'm not going to put the Holy Grail. Like, that's
But here's the thing, right? With Indy... You think about the boulder, the rolling boulder in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Do you know the boulder actually pissed me off? And I'll tell you why.
Carry on.
Because the boulder is one of those scenes that has been mimicked to hell in all films and spoofed everywhere you can.
Because of how iconic it is.
Yeah, but when I watched it and it was like, oh, the boulder's coming up. Like, I just felt the boulder wasn't as long as it should be, like the way that the boulder chases everyone else and everything it's been spoofed in. I was like,
Well, that's not the movie's fault, is it?
No, but when we talk about the boulder, do you get what I'm trying to say? It's like...
So the point I'm making is that Indiana Jones, although he ends up in these kind of almost otherworldly scenarios whereby, there's a rolling boulder, there's like, the train where he's having to go to the circus train at the beginning of Last Crusade, the rats in Venice, the Canyon of the Crescent Moon and all that. Having to do that walk of faith at the end of Last Crusade. The stunts and the side of... How do I describe this? The things he gets himself involved with are always very believable.
Are we talking about the spikes?
The spikes didn't piss me off.
The boat kind of
the boat and
able to survive.
The boat and the plane pissed me off. How are you going to throw a life raft out of a plane?
I thought of that. I was like,
and then it falls off a mountain.
Yeah.
This is like Aladdin called and he said, "Yo, I need a new magic carpet."
Yeah. It wouldn't survive.
And it's not just that; it's everything building up to that. People are like, "Oh, I didn't like the opening dance number." I didn't mind that because it was very much Spielberg trying something new. But that opening scene, it's so campy. And it's like Indiana Jones is kind of campy the way Star Wars is kind of campy, but it didn't need to be that campy. There's literally a scene with a fist in front of a shoulder, and you get like this kind of first-person fist view. The villains are badly written. The women, like Willie, this is one of the worst written female characters ever. Like every time she's on screen, I'm not meant to ride an elephant. I'm a singer.
Yeah. It was
so over the top, and it's like she's riding the elephant backwards because the stupid, incapable blonde woman is incapable of an elephant. Everyone else is able to, including the small child. It's like the movie went out of its way to make this female character look like an idiot. To that end, it succeeded, but to that end, it's a badly written female character. But then there's scenes which are fantastic. Her screaming was a bit too much in that film. The screaming was too much, and I'm sorry. There's parts of it where I actually had my racism radar going a bit.
Oh, bro, there's many times, but certain times with films now, I've learned to switch off on that a long time ago. Not that I want to, but I'm like, here we go again. Star Wars was the one that really ticked me, but.
Yeah. This is okay, man. That one?
That and whoever the other one was, and it was meant to be like this old Chinese emperor. Yes, welcome, Mr. And it was just like, oh, here we go.
Gungan leader.
No, there was a leader, but anyway, we
there was definitely parts of like Temple of Doom which made me think this is racist. Like the way you're portraying the Indians here is like, this is not cool. This is really
not funny cool. Actually, because I was typing something in, and I was typing in Temple of Doom. I can't remember what it was like, and I was like, Temple of Doom banned in India, and I was like, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't actually be surprised if they did that.
Not at all. I also really, do you know what? It wasn't just the meals and the way they had potential to do some interesting social narrative on India, because it is a country which has got such a division between wealth and poverty, right? So it was like they were trying to do something interesting to have some commentary on that. But the way they went about it was kind of making the white man look holier than thou. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, the scene where he walks through that village and they're all like, oh, white man. I was like, nah.
Well, I agree. But it was also more to the point. I think it was that they prayed to Shiva. I don't think it had to be. Obviously, I'm not saying Idris Elba would have landed in there, but it could have literally been anyone, right? Because they prayed to Shiva for someone, and essentially that person, someone
is a white man.
Obvious. It was pretty obvious he was a stranger. That's the thing. Like, that. So yes, it is white privilege to a great degree. Like, hey, the white director just makes the Indians worship the white guy. But yeah.
It had some tones of racism. It had really badly written female character. The beginning, I'm sorry, that opening 20 minutes is terrible. It's just bad filmmaking. It's ham-fisted, it's campy, it's over the top, and it's unnecessarily so. The transition from what it seemed to another, it's not smooth. It's kind of just like Indy's haphazardly fallen upon this thing. Like, he doesn't like the way it flows so well in The Last Crusade. It's like, he's called from the university to Venice, and then this is how he's naturally getting involved in the story. Here it's just like, I landed off a mountain in China, in Chongqing, into a river. So from the river in China, I cruised all the way into India. Now, I appreciate China and India are on the border, but Chongqing is not near the Indian border. But I still cruised all the way from Chongqing into the Indian border. And by chance, the person who picked me up just happens to be in this village, which is just going to happen to send me to the palace. It all felt so.
Yeah, but then there is
there by chance. You're not really
that mysticism behind it. That even at the end of the film, when they're like, "Now you know what the power is about," and he's like, "Yeah," or whatever the line was. So you're meant to embrace that the power of Shiva is what actually brought them there, aren't you? Like, if you take
I don't embrace it.
All of it.
I don't embrace it.
Well, you obviously don't embrace the film or the magic stone that allows you to put a hand through someone's freaking chest and pull out their heart.
Like, I was down with all that. This is what I'm saying.
So then the whole Shiva brought it in, and they're like, "This is what we art for, and this is what we got." It all legitimately makes sense. It shouldn't make sense. He should have been able to get home. He should have been able to bypass that village, but they prayed for it. They got it.
It didn't flow
well. It's all part of the mythicism.
I'm just saying, everyone gives shit to Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because of their fridge nuclear explosion survival. I'm one of them. Boat falling out of plane. Sorry, that's the same level of stupid.
Of course it is. That part is inexcusable. It's actually more excusable because of the era they made it in, where you would do bombastic, crazy shit that just doesn't happen. Whereas the later one, no, you should know better.
Raiders didn't do it, and Last Crusade didn't do it.
Because they learned a lesson. The thing that I think, but going back to where you talk about the whole quest of Indy, I think it's because this was meant to be a sequel, but he didn't want to bring the Nazis back in, and hence why he made it a prequel. Like,
no, but that's fine.
He could have had a bit more of a better origin to it if it was meant to be.
You could have just as easily done the same setup as in Last Crusade.
But what I'm saying is, I reckon the build-up... He could have
been called in to India saying there's a town we've heard that's got this great archaeological stone and it's gone missing. We want you to go to the town. You've eliminated that whole awkward beginning 20 minutes and you're actually naturally in the story now.
I reckon in the build-up, it was a case of we already know who he is. And that's why it just went into this. We don't have to go down the same route. Whereas had you said, do you get what I'm saying? It was written as a sequel, then changed into prequel?
Not really, no, because they that opening 20 minutes almost kind of made him a spy. It's like
This
he's
is what I'm saying,
arriving
we're
in
kind
his
of
tuxedo with his cocktail. I'm like, what are you, James
People
Bond?
embrace him for who he is now. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas had they gone into actual prequel territory, you would have really seen how he became the archaeologist who goes all out for these prized treasures. That's just the way I kind of embraced it, because I was like, just having that knowledge made me say, that's why it was written that way, as opposed to, yeah, I agree with you. We should have had a better backstory. Personally, that's just the way I read
better
it.
backstory and just reasons for getting involved with what he's involved in. Because it was all just like, huddy ho, I just happen to be here. It's like,
it was like, you can't go home until, but I get it. I get it. It's a good bone to pick.
No, it's not. You can't go home until it's like, I've literally just had beef in China. I'm cruising down a river and I have more beef now. It's like, that's really poor storytelling. That's bad. Bad.
Yeah,
So that's why it was so low down the list for me.
right.
Like we're doing worsts now, right?
We are indeed.
Well, we've both got the same worst.
We do?
Yeah.
Good. Big tone, yeah?
Big tone.
Perfect. And where is it? Well, okay. Why am I blanking? Oh, here we are. Yeah, big tone. This is for you, pal.
Unlimited power! The
Revenge
worst prequel
of the Sith. Now, honestly, I know we said we're going to try to stick to one film.
Stupid.
We're going to stick to one film per IP. Not in this situation, because there is no other prequel as bad as this. This
is dog shit.
Absolute crap. No, it's terrible. Absolutely terrible. It's just, it's the unlimited power that actually killed me, and that's what kills me, that he enjoys it so much. It was this whole build up throughout the film where I'm just watching this old man become more and more erratic, and then it just
Don't let it kill me. Oh.
Yeah, and then one of the points
it's
that you
the
made
high
after
ground that
was,
kills me, bro. It's that fucking lightsaber fight, which is so shit. And people are, but it's legendary. It's Obi-Wan and Anakin. Yeah, it's meant to be legendary, and you've made it look really bad.
This is one Frank would appreciate. AJ Styles and Nakamura at WrestleMania didn't make it great just because it was those two. Yeah. Right. It needs substance. So.
Well, look, we're not going to hang on it long because Gavin Mann very rightfully said, I've never heard you guys talk about this film before.
That's why I kind of left it. I just had to just skim.
We're not. It's on number 7 greatest of all time. What? On whose list? Yours?
Because it's clearly not on Empire. Nico's done that.
It's absolutely not on Empire. Definitely not on Empire. Yeah, no, fuck that film with the Fire of 1,000 Suns. But let's stay in the world of Star Wars because my number 1 is the best prequel. And it's not the one you think.
No, I know which one it is.
Rogue One.
The one where I see the exact opposite of fucking Darth Vader. That I think that's what threw me off of the film. I had
Rogue
good
One.
Darth Vader. Yeah. I had good Darth Vader in the shape of Forrest Whitaker. And it just done me. Oh, what the fuck am I watching?
You didn't like Saw Gerrera, huh?
No.
Jen, you have found me. Whisper acting, my favorite. Oh, you know, if Saw Gerrera and Eddie Redmayne had kids, you'd have to call it with a dog whistle. We talk and act like this. It's just how we do dramatic delivery. Terrible. Fuck off, Big Tone. Well done, guys. Got it right for once. This motherfucker. No, Rogue One I had such an interesting journey with because the first time I saw Rogue One, you'll remember, I was not impressed by it. Mm-hmm. I thought the biggest crime it did, the biggest thing about Star Wars is that the characters are so inherently likable. And I didn't find the characters likable the first time I watched Rogue One. I thought the plot was a little bit disjointed, but upon rewatching, it's not that the plot's disjointed. It's actually that there's so much going on in the film that you miss a lot of things the first time. Each time I rewatch this film, it gets better and better and better and better. And oh my God, Gareth Edwards knows how to stick a landing in a movie. Jesus.
So one thing I have a mate called James, who used to work with me before in a hotel. He's paid attention to the silver screen dudes and Movie Mount Rushmore quite a few times and follows us where he can. He always said the thing he likes about Rogue One is we've got the prequels and we've got the original story, so you don't need to do it. It just fits perfectly in there. You don't have to worry about an origin. You don't have to worry about an ending because you know what comes before and after. Again, I think I kind of resonate with you on the first time viewing. I've only watched it the once, and I was like, yeah.
It gets better each time.
Fair enough.
Really, 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 it gets better each time. That final battle they have on Scarif is just... Whew. Is it Scarif or Edu? Correct me, Star Wars fans, if I'm wrong. Last planet they fight
Big
on.
Tone, this is your territory, bro. This is the moment you've been waiting for. This is
Scarif or Edu. Scarif or Edu. Help me out in the comments. Everyone Googling now, like, ah!
Go on, guys. Use your unlimited power to tell us the answer.
There you go. Mixed memorabilia. I'll let AJ answer this one. AJ, why do you dislike Forrest?
I just disliked his character. I don't. Do you know what?
Actually, is it Forrest or is it Saw Gerrera?
Bit of both. Because here's something.
Oh, shit.
Here's something. And I swear to you, Nath, if you're in the comments, you can jump in right now. This was my brother. He goes, what is it? Who's it? I think he said bang average. No, he called Forrest Whitaker a shit actor. And I was like, you can't say that. He's like, name me one good film. And then when I
Last
listed...
King of Scotland.
Yeah, maybe I haven't seen that one. But was that him or was it...
No, that was him. He played Idi Amin. He was amazing.
But he was the one. It wasn't McAvoy. It wasn't McAvoy.
McAvoy was there. Forrest won the Best Acting Award. Not
right,
Oscar.
So having not seen that, but this coming in?
It wasn't an Oscar. I believe it was a BAFTA.
Right. But this is the thing, is that when I looked at the films that I had seen, but this is where the argument came. I was like, he's been pretty average in all of them. So I've gone from like I like Forrest Whitaker to average. That was my take on it. The character that he played, as I said, it just felt like reverse Darth Vader.
Come with me, child.
Darth Vader. And because of the way I appreciate Star Wars, I don't love Star Wars, right? So this film for me was just like, what am I watching here? It was just like the worst intro for a character. I was like, is this what we're doing? So before we see Darth Vader,
it's a shame because he's actually a very cool character in Star Wars canon, but they jobbed him a bit.
This Star Wars canon does me in, guys. I have to say this. Like I've never seen a film rely so much on someone having to go to external factors. I think it's kind of cool.
The fuck out of me.
I find it kind of cool that you can say it's like the Animatrix is meant to be linked to the Matrix in one way or another and stuff. Like I find it cool that the cartoons are linked. So whatever you saw on Fox Kids does link to whatever built somewhere else. It's cool that it's there. But it's like, oh, but if you read the Star Wars book, then you understand who Boba Fett is. Like, no, I've seen a film where someone goes, oh, Boba Fett, and runs away, and there was nothing to it. Yes, Disney Plus has now given me a series, but for fucking 40 years plus, who was Boba Fett? Right? That's what
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Right?
I'm with you.
It's also, and I've said it again, and maybe I've watched it wrong, but I know Nate, if he's watching, will agree. This powerful lore that everyone was like, oh my God, Obi-Wan Kenobi. When I saw this guy,
let it go.
No, I'm putting it out there as to what it was.
You put it out so many times and you're wrong every time.
All right, I have backup though, so it's fine. But it's again, what I'm talking about is the lore regarding it. Because again, go to the backstory. I fucking love Obi-Wan. Qui-Gon Jinn's a kick-ass. Everyone's kick-ass, but it's those parts where you get this little taster of him in a film and you're expected to know what that sentence means or who that action means. Like, no. Why is it not public knowledge? Why does it have to be so deep? I've never even seen a freaking Star Wars book anywhere. Where did you guys find this?
Oh, literally everywhere.
Fair play, but I didn't see it. Like, how did I not see it? But it's there. You had to go looking for it. And this is the shit where I'm like, it's not right.
It's not right that when you have a debate with Star Wars fans, the defense is always, but the canon, but the book, but the comic, but the game. That I'll agree with. Do I think it's cool that there is such a wide variety of Star Wars canon? Yes, absolutely.
No, but it's cool that there's a tie-in. I love a tie-in, and that's what's cool. But
what's not cool is that
general consumption, it can't be done that way.
Well, it absolutely can. It's not about general consumption. It's about movie debate. It's literally about when you're criticizing a movie. What you've said, if you were not familiar with the character of Saw Gerrera based solely on Rogue One, what you're saying is on point. He wasn't very good. There's no disagreeing with it.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird things that grinds me when it comes to, as I said, it's my appreciation of Star Wars is just there, and that was just one of those that was just like
Fucking
no.
Trekkie.
Don't even do that, because I enjoy Star Trek, yes, but I'm not going to be one to be able to say to you, yes,
the Borg.
Borg's 12,000 1 and 2 is that, like, I know 7 of 9. I couldn't tell you the rest. Like, I have somewhat deeper Star Trek knowledge, yes, but I'm not here. I haven't even seen Ralph Khan.
Tucky says, "Wow." Tucky says, "Panic Room, Phone Booth. He was good in those." Big Tone says,
"What's his face?"
Colin Farrell and Forrest Whitaker.
Yes, but it was stronger focus. Yeah.
He's a secondary character, but he's good in it.
This is what I'm saying. I take it for that.
He's a backup dancer. Let man be.
But this is what I'm saying. I just accept him for average.
Big Tone says, "Now watch Godfather of Harlem."
TV series, but you're putting him in the Idris era.
Yeah, literally. Mixed Memorabilia says Forrest Whitaker was incredible in The Last King of Scotland. He made the film.
I will give this a shot. But as I said, from what I'd seen, he was Captain Midcard. Like, yeah, Cody Rhodes.
Your brother says, for the length of time he's been around, he's just a recognized black man. Okay.
but see the argument. Did you see the argument? For those who were like, but Forrest Whitaker, it's like, okay.
Well, then I'm going to see what Gavin Mann says here. Last King of Scotland, Phone Booth, The Butler, Good Morning Vietnam. Liked him in all of those, big and small parts. I agree. Jedi, this is a great name. Jedi Dick Sensei. Mariska Hargitay. I'm not sure what that means, I'm afraid. Big Tone says, Last King of Scotland is great.
I'm definitely going to give this film a shot.
Yep. Your brother says, okay, Last Long of Scotland. What else in his 30 plus years career?
I mean, there's a few out there, Dave. But you get what I'm saying? I was a defender till Nath knocked him down a touch for me. It's just what it is. You're kind of thinking about it now yourself, and you're like,
no, I like Forrest, mate. I'm a Forrest guy. Mixed Memorabilia says Forrest Whitaker in Ghost Dog. He's created and mastered his nice and then raised his voice incredibly in The Last King of Scotland. He owned that film. Yep.
I fully appreciate Last King of Scotland, guys. Yeah.
Big Tone says, for once, me and you, Nico, are on the same page. Stop picking on the Obi-Wan scene. Yeah, real talk.
Okay, Nathan, my brother, let me know what you think about Obi-Wan once you see him in that original film. Yeah, because I know you're doing it from episode 1 onwards. Nate, I know, bro. I'm gonna just have to wait for your comment in our WhatsApp group, because sadly, I'm guessing you're not available right now. But I was so refreshed to hear that, guys. Honestly, all you Star Wars fans out there, what is your thoughts on Obi-Wan, based solely on episode 4, based solely on A New Hope? Is he the Grand Master Jedi that's been perceived out there?
Yes,
the Force, Luke. Cool.
Wow.
You were fucking dust by that time, bro. And that's what bugged me. I was looking out for this Brit in every other film. I was like, he's got to be reappearing. No.
And he was in every other film.
I really need to rewatch.
He was in Empire, and he was in The Return of the Jedi. So
I'm gonna go back and watch him. Remember, I crammed them in just in time for Fig. Yeah.
Abigail Jamila says, I think people think he's a good actor because the movies he's in are good, but he himself doesn't necessarily make the movie good. Last King of Scotland! Last King of Scotland!
It's like the one trump card. It's like on the blackjack. Someone's laid everything down. You're like, oh, there's my last red jack. Allow Last King of Scotland. And then I want to hear the argument. Because I think the argument then stands. He's there in other films.
Maybe.
Right.
The Rogue One is amazing. It has the best space battle in all of Star Wars. I won't hear otherwise. The characters are a bit mad. The whole Stardust thing I could have done without. I do love Krennic, though. Ben Mendelsohn. He's just got in the conversation one of the best villain actors ever. He's so good. Like every movie he's in, villain. What's your number one, AJ?
Well, we punted on it. It's not a secret. Do you know what? Just for you, just for all of you guys out there, X-Men, the First Class. There you go. Screw all of it. Yeah, so originally my number 2, till I realized Joker doesn't fit the mold. But I always remember the disappointment that came following The Last Stand. or Last Stand. I'm not even sure which one it was. But
no, the last, I think. Andy Hart called it. You're going to be unsure of the best. It's happened again. It's happened again.
But yeah,
Anthony
either way.
Jordan. It's happened again.
Love this. Do you know? I tell you why I laugh, because for guys who know what the history of our friendship, these moments are so golden to him because I was such a shutdown artist that we're at a point of, yeah, okay, no, you got me. It's unreal. But yeah, we're cool. We digress. Following X-Men 3 and the shit show that film was, I stumbled across this on YouTube. I know it's probably a story many have heard many a times if you followed this journey. But I honestly thought it's like a trailer or something. But I ended up luck had it that this entire film was on YouTube and I was blown away. And again, what also made this film catch my appreciation is the fact that I didn't believe, the same way we just said that Hugh Jackman can't be replaced, the guy who looked like Professor Xavier before he was cast as Professor Xavier in Patrick Stewart. McKellen as Magneto. It was like, we've got the cast. Are you shitting me? Even down to the point of Xavier's got hair. We're just, where are we going with this? And these guys came together and knocked this film out of the park, as far as I'm concerned. Like, performances from everyone, like Kevin Bacon, Zoe Kravitz, like the smaller characters in here. Everything just pieced together to really deliver a fantastic movie and an origin. And again, something that I love, and this is hindsight talking, but it was kind of, it's definitely hindsight talking. It wasn't Hugh Jackman / Wolverine focused either. It was one line of Hugh Jackman, and it shows that you can actually make a good film without having to focus on Wolverine. Obviously, we had to tie it in because it's like, but Wolverine's been around for like X amount of 100 years. Small taste of that was him. Fuck off. Literally. Yeah.
I love that scene on the end, the Cuban Missile Crisis scene.
Oh my
amazing!
Days.
It's amazing.
Yeah, the mind game behind it all, the decisions, the bullet holding in the back of his back and his oh my god, everything in it was it was tops, man. The division of mutants while they were all built, loved it.
Guys, we need you all, by the way, we forgot to say this, to start dropping your Rushmores down below. What is everyone's Rushmore of prequel movies?
This is what happens when you do a Rushmore on a Wednesday. We forget to top the show. We forget to end the show. It's all over the place. Right. So while you guys are taking that time, this is why we left it. It's all planned. It's all planned. This is for our segue to bring in good old JT. We Love Movies joining us for the very first time. I knew JT was coming. This is why I didn't do it at the top of the show.
He's gone now, by the way, but carry on.
How'd you know?
Because you said it earlier.
Oh, fuck you. All right. Not you, JT, Nick, for not telling me, because I've just built this up just to knock it right back down. But yes, JT, who was previously with us of We Love Movies at Movie Polls for You on Twitter. We will be retweeting it because the Movie Mount Rushmore is a challenge for us, the Silver Screen Dudes. We will be debating the 4 must-see, the quintessential, both diverse, must-see movies in the genre, which is prequels. You guys have the even bigger challenge because you have to crown El Capitan, El Numero Uno, the King of Kings, the best of the best of the best. And to quote Highlander in the end, there can be only one. Please say that right. Anyway, yeah. So how do you do that? We, the Silver Screen Dudes, will pick our 4 films of the Rushmore, and then you will head on over to at Movie Empty Rushmore. But more importantly, We Love Movies at Movie Polls for You from JT to crown the winner. Last week, our topic was the best child star movie. And our contenders were
Stand By Me, Leon, Room, and Empire of the Sun. 351 people voted. Would you care to take a guess at the order, please, AJ?
It's going to hurt me. Isn't it number 4, Leon?
No.
Fascinating. Empire of the Sun?
No.
Stand By Me?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Should have gone for Wonder. Anyway.
Now, you know what sucks? 5%. 5% of people voted for Room.
So I'm not saying that the other films are shit by any means, right? However,
this film's on another level.
This kid has some serious talent that I've not seen Empire of the Sun, so I can't really comment. But when we talk about immersive acting, taking you on an emotional roller coaster, like Natalie Portman, it was somewhat uncomfortable seeing how close she wanted to bond with Leon and stuff like that. Stand By Me is a group of guys together. Guys, I'm shocked that it's only 5%. That feels like a knock on Tremblay, man. But it is what it is. There's some strong content.
Feel like a knock on Tremblay. Yeah.
All right.
Number 3?
Empire of the Sun.
Yeah.
I can't comment. I feel people might be in the same category as me and not
12%. Ah!
So we have it gets tighter up at 1 and 2, right? Or is it a steam?
Oh no. This is steamrolling.
So number 3 is Leon. Number 2 is Leon, sorry.
Nah.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Leon. Yeah.
Yeah, 2's Leon. Yeah.
Yeah, 28%. Stand By Me, 55%. Jesus.
That's River Phoenix. And I'm not well, I am shitting on the other guy. I can't remember his name. So Andy Hartman said they thought it was The Room. Yeah.
It's AJ's fault.
I made sure I didn't say that. I might go to Prince Charles Theatre to watch that.
Tell me if you're going. I need to go.
No, it would have to be done together. It has to be like
we bring spoons.
But the other side of it is, I don't know if I can actually watch that film twice. Like, my God.
Oh, I've watched it a few times. It's fucking great.
I've watched The Room, but I've also watched The Disaster Artist right after it. So it was like back to back.
It's so good, isn't it?
Oh, God. Yeah. Finger Sucker does amazing in that.
Finger Sucker, is that how he's going to be known from now on?
I don't want to, but
it is, isn't it? It's like cemented now. James Franco, aka Finger Sucker. Right. So that's the list. Now, should we make our Rushmore? Well, let's read out what a few people have said. I've only received 2 here, guys. No, 3. Sorry, my apologies. Gavin Mann has said his Rushmore is Rogue One, Monsters University, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Infernal Affairs. Andy Hart says that was my top 10. My Rushmore: The Godfather Part 2, Infernal Affairs 2, Fire Walk with Me, and X-Men First Class. And Big Tone says Rogue One, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Hobbit 2, and X-Men Days of Future Past. Honorable mention just for you guys: Star Wars Episode 3, Return of the Sith. Just for you, Big Tone, it's Revenge of the Sith. Oh!
It's interesting he went for Days of Future Past over First Class. Like, I enjoyed Days of Future Past. I appreciate
that film.
Right.
Andy Hart, you've never seen The Room. Watch it. So good.
Have you seen Disaster Artist, though, Andy? Just out of interest, because if you have, you've pretty much seen the film. But what a crazy journey!
It's so crazy, isn't it? How much all this equipment cost? Normally, people just trying to, okay, so we buy it. What the fuck?
I still want to know where that money came from. Like, legit. Like, legit. Yeah. I don't even think Coke can do that. Like, it's weird. Like, he's a count of some small country somewhere. It's just weird. Like, I don't know.
Mixed Memorabilia says, my Rushmore: The Godfather Part 2, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, Infernal Affairs 2, and Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Yes, Mixed Memorabilia! Love The Phantom Menace. And Andy Hart says, yes, seen The Disaster Artist. And it didn't make you want to see The Room.
Yeah, I would have been tempted. I mean, as much as you've seen it, you have to then see it for what it is.
So
you have to see it for how, because whatever the film shows you, it is that random. It legitimately is that random. It is the weirdest film I've ever seen in my life.
This guy just beat the shit out of a girl, man. What a story, Mark. By the way, how is your sex life? What the fuck? It doesn't make sense. It's so good.
The weirdest part is when they're getting it on, and then you've just got the teenager just walking up like, "Hey, can I join it?" What? No. Like, yeah.
Taki says, First Class is one of my favorite superhero movies and a near perfect prequel. Perfectly shows relationship between Charles and Eric's rage. Also, Kevin Bacon is a brilliant villain. Yes, Taki?
Yeah,
I agree. Right, AJ, how do we do this one? I feel like Rogue One needs to be on there.
But so here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Over Solo, yes.
No, it's not even that.
Oh, snap. Andy says, let me know if you're going to see it at the Prince Charles. I might come and join you.
Nice.
That would be awesome.
That would be all kinds of cool.
That would be very cool.
So here's my thing. I have no argument with Rogue One. I'm okay with Rogue One being in there, but I'm also aware it's Star Wars. No matter which way you look at it. And that's where steamrolling territory normally comes in.
Unless you put the Godfather 2 in which case that steamrolls everything.
This is what I was going to say, is that if it goes in, that's the only counter, but then it's like it's those two versus everything else. And I also feel the Godfather Part 2 only comes in because you put a Star Wars movie in, because it's a sequel/prequel. Yep. Hence why it's so low on both our lists. That's my argument, and I put it out there. And I'm not doing this for shits and giggles, but I did see First Class in there quite a bit, so I think that has
First Class I'm happy with. X-Men First Class I'm more than happy with.
So let me just get onto the right thing, otherwise I'll lose it for next week. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I'm on a small island of people that think Indiana Jones Temple of Doom is not good. So we could put Indy on there.
I'm also cool with that.
And then you've got something that could be big enough to go toe-to-toe with Rogue One.
But again, I feel like then we are automatically putting in The Godfather as well, because I wouldn't want... I think Indiana Jones is there. I don't know if it's everyone's favorite Indiana.
But Godfather 2 is not a prequel. It's only half a prequel.
I know.
Frank Torres says his Rushmore is First Class, Rogue One, Godfather 2, and Temple of Doom. It's kind of where we're at.
It's a fucking awesome one.
Mixed Memorabilia says The Godfather 2 has to be in.
Does it though? Does it though? Hand on heart, guys. It doesn't even end in prequel territory. It ends with Michael. So it's like...
No, it ends with Vito.
I just watched this film. My memory can't be that shit. Does it not end with Michael?
It ends with Vito in his apartment.
No.
I swear it does.
No, it ends with Michael sitting in Vito's apartment for his birthday. They're all singing Happy Birthday. So, okay, it's technically it's like middle ground of Godfather. But it still ends with that guy. It still ends on a Michael note as opposed to a Vito note.
Frank Torres, in relation to his Mount Rushmore picture, saying, throw the monsters in there, let them fight. And the monsters are these. So obviously there's an opinion here that these are the 4 monster movies. Should we let them fight?
I'm cool with it. I'm just scared that But if you read the book, this is why Rogue One's amazing, and it's just going to win.
No. Rogue One's just a good film, mate.
All right.
What was that? Tell me, is there something else that you'd want to see in there instead?
Well, do you know what? In another world, based on what... Again, if we weren't voting, probably a Star... I think I would have fought you for Solo because there was no votes going out there. I would have been like, but this is the one. It's a different adventure.
Sorry, just quickly. Big Tone, that's Godfather Part 1. It ends with Michael closing the door on Kate. That's Godfather 1.
I would have, like, in the ideal world, I would have probably, pre-voting, I would have fought for Bumblebee to get in there. I would have fought for Solo. Those are the 2 films I would have actually fought for. But I know the excitement's not there on a voting scale. But those are the 2. No. I would have gone Rogue One. I would have gone Solo over Rogue One. Obviously, on a Twitter poll where the world hates Solo, that would be reverse. That would just be stupid.
But are you happy with this?
I do it because of the nature of a vote. And I'm not blaming you guys when I say that, but I have to. Because it's no point putting in Oz the Great and Powerful. When we said put the monsters in there, for one small, minute minute, I thought Frank meant Monsters University. I was like, I don't think it will do that well. I realised what the comment was about Let Them Fight.
Okay, we good?
Yes. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you there. Is there any Middle-earth love out there that could potentially
not strong enough?
Okay,
not strong enough. The official movie Mount Rushmore of movie prequels in no particular order is
The Godfather Part 2.
Our second entry is
Rogue One.
Our third entry is
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Our final entry into the movie Mount Rushmore of prequel movies is
X-Men First Class. Guys, please don't get it twisted. I'm not saying it's not a solid list. It's just one for
Rushmore justification.
No, it is. And like honestly, I know in an honest world, Godfather 2, as awesome as it is, I've just freshly seen it, as awesome as it is half prequel, half sequel. So
most definitely.
That's what it is. Okay, guys. So once again, I've just said it before, but I will say it again. How can you vote to crown the best prequel of all time? Head on over to @MovieMT_Rushmore. But more importantly, please do head on over to @MoviePolls for you. That is We Love Movies, his handle. Good old JT will be posting it up. We will be retweeting. So there is only one vote because we will be pinning the post made by We Love Movies. Once again, the contenders are The Godfather Part 2, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, X-Men First Class, and Rogue One. So head on over there, guys.
Andy thinks X-Men will get crushed. I think you're right, Andy. Someone has to make up the numbers.
Hey, it happened to Room last week. It doesn't mean it's a shit film.
Quite right. Do you want to do the plugging here, AJ?
Okay, guys. So once again, please, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, TuneIn, Stitcher, GeoSavin, and just search for Movie Mount Rushmore. Don't put in the, you might not find us.
And yeah, if you are podcast listeners, guys, and you do want to actually join us on a live show every single Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. UK time, we would love to have you come and join us and our little film family right here on YouTube. Every single Tuesday, UK time at 8:30. If you happen to like us, whether you're listening to us on podcast or watching us live or watching us after the event, you can head on over to buymeacoffee.com/movie dudes. The link to that is in the description below, podcast and YouTube. And yeah, that's just no expectation, as I say every week, but it's just if you happen to like us and you want to throw a bit of support, basically buy us a Starbucks. That's all we're asking.
Also, guys, we will be doing like reels. We are doing reels. They are YouTube shorts, but if you happen to be a Instagram person, they are the reels. So do please check out @the Silver Screen Dudes. So you'll be seeing that there, and we'll be posting up a few film bits along the way. Instant reviews from Nico will be there as quick as possible as well. Anytime a film review's out. So yeah, that's also there. Just connect with us.
Little some coming this coming Friday. I mean, not this coming Friday. Next Friday.
After. Hey, I may make an appearance. But yeah, there we go. So yeah, guys, just connect with us. And again, appreciated as UFC Talks, aka Den the Tech, aka Cook45 says, tell 5 people, please.
Tell 5 people. And if you're here with us live now, guys, just help us out with YouTube. Please do like the video and just help us with the algorithm rankings. It would be greatly appreciated. Now, next week's topic. Vengeance. Let's do this, AJ.
We're talking the Dark Knight himself.
We're going to be ranking the top 10 Batman movies.
That's the one, guys. So get them in. This obviously includes animation as well as live action. Otherwise, there wouldn't be 10. But yeah, that's the one. So we do look forward to you joining us in there for that one. It will be a good one. And then yeah, it's all in the build up to the Batman. And yes, that wasn't an.
Oh, you're so happy about the title, aren't you?
The poster says that. So we are talking the Batman, and yeah, it's going to be a big one, guys. We're hoping big things.
Since it's movies we've mostly all seen, Mixer and Billy would like to know, AJ, The Last King of Scotland by next week. You don't really have an excuse.
I don't. So here we go. Do you know what I finished last night? Just to close the show. Jojo Rabbit.
It's great, huh?
You know what? Sorry, I'm looking for Last King of Scotland, but I'm looking at like Mixed Memorabilia's message. I'm googling AJ. Why am I looking for myself? Yeah, let's see if it's available on.
What did you think of Jojo?
What did I think of Jojo? So some of the notes that I thought. Let's have to do a wink, nudge for the Last King of Scotland. Some of the issues that I thought were going to be there, I thought, the things that you told me aren't going to be there or fade were still quite prevalent in terms of what I would partially call anti-Semitism. Maybe I'm being a bit too defensive, but it was like...
You're being too defensive. There was no anti-Semitism.
Listen, obviously, we're talking of someone from Third Reich envy going on. So there was all this, oh, the Jews this, the Jew that, and the stupid Jew. Like I was like, I enjoyed the film. I love the bond that was built between him and, you know, like, I don't want to get into certain situations because other people may not have seen it, and it's there on Disney Plus, guys. So I liked all of that. Scarlett Johansson, I was like, oh, that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going into spoiler territory. Right? Like, that was, yeah.
The shoes is heartbreaking.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff that gave me a lot, and had I seen it, it probably would have made child star movies in the list because it did leave an impact.
Sorry. How good is Sam Rockwell?
He was the star. He was the star for me of that.
He's just
like
fine,
the last time you see Sam Rockwell, I was like, you absolute, I was, that was something. So it's one of those that I'm happy I watched it when I did, because I'm still not too sure. And guys, if you are Jewish, I'm just going to put it out there. There's no polite, like, there's not the Jewish is offensive, but I would like to know your approach on it, because I was still happy that I watched it on my own as opposed to like I was physically picturing what that would be like. Watch, and I'm not saying she's not seen Schindler's List, but like trying to picture how my other half would take this film, like where it's not glorification of Hitler, because obviously we still get to the point of Hitler's elimination and he's told to fuck off at the end. No spoiler, but like, you know, I'm still like, I don't know how the Jewish community embrace it.
How hypersensitive you are, because if you look at it and see it as a satire of something truly evil,
bro, I get it. I wouldn't say hypersensitive, but where I've seen certain things along the way that you're like, I don't appreciate that from other films. Like, even go down to that, I can't remember that film that we watched with Keenan Ivory Wayans, and it was just like, is this the best way you're going to talk about black people getting into film? Like, it was bullshit. Like, there are certain tones that you can hit that just doesn't resonate if you're from a certain community, and it's not for me to judge that. I could be hypersensitive. I'm just overly cautious maybe on the situation. And again, this is part of a growth of me, because the old me would have been like, this is freaking awesome, and just done it, you know. But yeah, I'm more culturally sensitive along the way, maybe too sensitive. The pendulum has to swing both ways before it adjusts itself.
Right.
Yeah. No, but it is a good film. It is a good film. Yeah, I wouldn't put caution. I think I would like to just hear people's perspective of Jojo Rabbit from different.
Cool. Bonus review at the end of the show for you. I like it.
Yeah, it's a
next week, AJ will be reviewing The Last King of Scotland.
Do you know what? Yes, I will be. But I'm throwing out a challenge, and I don't normally do this to people. One, Andy, I want your review of The Room. But Nath.
No, Andy wants to come and see that with us at the Prince Charles.
Yes. I'm gonna have to check for Prince Charles Cinema. But Nath, oh brother of mine, my wonderful young bro, catch it as well. I want to know your views. Since you've joined us for the whole show, I want to know. We'll even kick off the show with it. What is that? That's a challenge. I'll accept the gauntlet, as much as I do want to revisit some Batman movies.
Cool.
But yeah, I accept the gauntlet. Thank you, Mixed Memorabilia. Challenge accepted.
Easy there, Barney. Let's wrap it up on that now.
Okay, guys. Right. Thank you very much. And guys, yeah, we've done the please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You've been commenting, so it's truly appreciated, but a few more shares. Okay, guys. Thank you very much. Until the next week, I am the one AJ, Anthony Jordan.
I'm Nico Lurot. Shout out to all the Nicoholics.
We're out, guys. See ya.